Hey Marty, how you doing? Hope you can hear me. John, how you doing? How y'all doing? Hope you're having a great day. Started a little early, it's fine. Dan, glad to see you here. Um, Anybody get out detecting? Mark the Bird Hunter, how you doing? Choo-choo. Loud and clear, excellent. So I got my 3D printer running, and a little loud, I know that. So, Mark, the Bird Hunter, you said he's going to get detecting. Did you get any done? Why don't you come on up and tell us if you did? Dennis, how you doing, brother? Good to see you here. You got a puppy running around? We got 9 kittens running us crazy here. But they'll be rehomed here pretty soon. Most of them will be rehomed here pretty soon. Shannon, hello. That's okay, brother. Thanks for showing up and supporting me. Thank you very much. Well, lots of times I jump into somebody's stream and I can't stay long. I understand. Tony, how you doing? Just, ah. How's it going, Mark?
Oh, hey, Bill.
How you doing?
Good yourself?
Not too bad. Just waiting for the orthopedic surgeon to call me and tell me what day I'm going to get my hip replaced.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's coming up.
Pardon?
It's coming up.
Yep. So did you get out detecting the other day? They said
Nah,
he's
not at all.
now. Oh, sorry, man.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. I tell you, it's been so long. I can't wait to get this hip fixed so I can get out.
Oh, I bet. I bet you are.
Dennis is on the road. Oh, he got on large yesterday in 1825.
Good for him.
You suck, Dennis. Only kidding, brother. Thank you, Tony. So, you do anything with your 3D printer lately?
Sort of, kind of. I made like a prototype clamp that'll go on my bike so I can hook my metal detector up to it. Make it a little easier to carry it.
Hey, good idea.
Yeah. So, like, this part will go on the bike part, and down in here will go the shaft for the metal detector, so that it'll hold it close to the bike while I'm riding it, so I can make it easier to carry.
Nice. Hey, Jason. 28 largies for the summer, Dennis? You really do suck. Tom Riley, how you doing? God. No, Dennis, man, it's so great you find some great stuff. He really does.
He does, yeah. Oh, yeah. So after you get released, Bill, what's the first thing you're going to detect? Where are you heading?
I don't know. I'm going to hopefully hook up with Charlie's brother, John. What's in the plug?
There you go.
Or Ski Searcher the next time he's down around here. He's got relatives here, and he said we could hook up. And
cool.
But John from What's in the Plug finds some great permissions. He's been digging up some really cool stuff.
Wow, sweet.
Yeah.
What's up, Tom, Jason, Shannon, Marty? Oh, my dog's like cramping my style. He's like right here.
Hi, Diana. Diana, did you get the magnets yet? I sent them. I had to get your address from somebody else because you never did email it to me. Mm-hmm. So,
hey, Plugsy.
Hi, Plugs. How you doing? Oh, you changed your icon again. Okay. So, yeah, like I said, I cannot wait to get out metal detecting. It's going to be so much fun. It's been so long.
Oh, I
You know,
bet.
for a while I was kind of burnt out on it, but it's been so long. Now I'm eager. Now I want to get
Yeah.
out and do it.
I bet you are.
You got him. Good, Mary. And don't worry about sending it to Charlie. I already sent him some because he's been such a great co-host. Plus, he's always donating stuff for me to give away on my stream here. I just sent him some. Yeah, the only thing I'm lacking to go out by myself right now is besides the hip is I don't have a vehicle, but that's going to come up after I get the hip replaced and I know I can drive again. So
Yeah. Oh, no problem, John. You can come up now. Yeah, come on.
who?
John, Finders Keepers. He said, sorry about last week. My phone was giving me the spinning wheel of death when he tried entering the stream yard. What's stopping you now, John? You know.
Sorry, Dan. Hope you get rid of it soon.
Ugh, I hate head colds. Hey, Frederick.
Head colds aren't too bad, but I get sinus
Jim.
headaches and cluster headaches. Jim Steele, how you doing? And I tell you, I've never had a migraine, but I know what a cluster headache is, and they tell me cluster headaches worse. Hello, Frederick.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yep, cluster
And
headaches are
please,
worse.
you don't want a cluster headache. The sinus headaches I could deal with.
They say too, people who suffer, well, men usually suffer more from cluster headaches,
Yeah,
and it's a leading cause of suicide because of the pain.
I believe it. I don't. Knock on wood. I rarely get them,
Good.
but yeah, it is, John. You never want one. Believe me. Let me put it this way: I'd rather have a mouthful of abscessed teeth than a cluster headache. They're that bad. I can hardly walk with my hip, and the pain, even with a lot of pain meds, it's barely bearable, but
Cool, Dennis.
nothing like a cluster headache. And everything they ever gave me for it, nothing ever stopped them. So good, Marty. Oh, he's having issues with fluid on the lungs. That's not good. Oh, and I don't know if anybody's heard, but Cynthia Swearington's father was in a car accident.
Yeah.
2 broken legs, arm. He's pretty messed up. So
Wow.
prayers for him, thoughts, everything, please.
Yeah, she texted me last night to say, please pray for him.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah. 81 years old, man. He ends up in a car wreck. Damn.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, Jim. You get migraines every day? That really sucks. I know. I got an ex-brother-in-law. Same thing. Got him every day. Along with, they had to give him shots about every month for his allergies. Who was in an accident? Cynthia Swearington's father, John. Cynthia, the one, our number one, everybody's number one fan.
Yep.
I mean, I've been in car accidents. I can't imagine being 81 years old and getting in one and having it that bad.
Yeah.
Caused by a ball bat. Oh, ouch. Yeah. My first ex-wife, she had grand mal seizures because when she was 13, she got run over by a car.
Oof.
Yeah, and it did damage to the cortex layer of the brain, and it messed her up for life. The problem was she wouldn't, they put her on Dilantin, which is cool, but Dilantin is one of those weight-based medicines. If you gain or lose weight, they've got to adjust the med for it to work right.
Yeah.
And she would gain weight, lose weight, and never go to the doctor. So I'd find her on the floor having a grand mal seizure.
Hey, Kelly.
Grandma Kelly, how you doing? Glad you're here. Thank you. We got 12 people in the house.
Yeah, sweet, man.
Started. And it's next Sunday. You're going to interview me on your show, right?
No, Thursday. This Thursday, bud.
Oh, this Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 13th. Duh.
Yep. Yep. Thursday at 7.
Okay. Get my phone number out of my about page and call me and remind me, Mark, so I don't forget.
Yeah, I won't. I'll be sitting here going, "Where's Bill?"
Yeah. Because, man, I mean, I set reminders for myself on all kinds of stuff. You know, it's like the old, well, tie a string to your finger so you don't forget. Then you go, what was the string for? You could use a regular dose of cannabis. Delta 8. Even though, I mean, when I take enough to kill the pain, I can't function and do anything, but at least the pain's gone. And I don't go up and down the steps after I've taken a couple of those. It's like, no, I just stay in a room. But when all else fails, they work for me. I know a lot of people they don't.
Yeah, I tried that Delta 9. And I'm like, it was nothing. I'm like, I just wasted my money.
Well, Delta 9 is regular pot. The Delta 8 is a variant that they removed something from. And I tell you, when Pat told me about it, I tried the stuff. I took one. I took half one. Nothing. Well, in gummies, apparently it's not like a medication where you half and you get 50%, 50%. You can quarter the things, and it's all in one quarter. So I took the whole thing and part of another one. It was like about a half hour later. I'm going, oh, okay.
I'll have to try them.
Yeah, the Delta 8s worked for me, whereas the Delta 9 stuff didn't.
Yeah.
It got me stoned, but it didn't take me the pain away. And I don't care about getting stoned. I just want the pain gone.
Yeah, I was aiming for my back and also just something to relax me a little bit.
Exactly. That'll do it. The Delta 8. Try the Delta 8, Mark. You can get.
I'll have to.
It's like
yeah, John, I have some really tough questions I'm going to ask Bill so we get to know him better.
Boxers or tighty whities, that kind of thing, John.
Right. Yep, that's it.
After 15, you feel nothing. If I took 15 gummies, I wouldn't be up for a week, Dennis.
Delta 8. I'll give it a shot.
Oh, damn, Jim. Had all the bones. I knew a guy that had that happen in a mosh pit. So they had to go in and put a wire mesh in his nose and he can't smell anything anymore. That's because when he dove, everybody moved and he hit face first on the concrete floor. 7 p.m.
John, it's going to be on 7 p.m. our time.
Uh-oh. Whoa. Froze for a minute.
Yeah, 7 p.m. Thursday.
Which would be 6 p.m. my time. I got to remember that.
Right.
So that's like a swimming pool bong hit. Wow.
You'll be. I like what Plug said. Dennis, 15, you'll be able to talk to Michael Jackson.
But no, has anybody ever interviewed you, Mark?
Clark's Cove have.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's somebody else too. I can't remember.
Jay, I knew a guy who looked like he did a 100-yard dash in the 90-yard gym. Yeah, I've seen a few people like that. I ate one chocolate peanut butter ball infused THC. This thing messed me up for 3 days. Well, then you don't want to do the Delta 8 because a lot of people that are used to doing Delta 9 all the time, the 8 won't do nothing. But if you're not used to it or if it messes you up, the Delta 8 is even stronger. And yet it's legal in every state, even the states that don't allow pot, because they removed one thing out of it and then made it legal.
Okay.
Don't understand the theory behind that, but We used to have a guy back home when we were teenagers. We always liked to shoot the rapids and falls back home. But we were smart enough. You come up to a waterfall, you want to see if the water level's low, because in a lot of them rivers back home, there's huge rocks at the bottom of the waterfall. So most of us would stop and look over before we decided to go over. Well, one day this guy Steve just went over.
Oof.
And we look over and he's floating face down in the water. So we went after him and he landed face first right here, broke his nose, knocked himself out. Where do you get Delta 88? Look for it online, Jim. You can order it online. Lots of places. The gummies are like $20 for 1,000 milligrams. You get like 20 gummies that are 50 milligrams each. Good stuff. There's a lot of websites that sell it. Just make sure you don't pay more than $20, $25 because some of them will try to rook you at $50 for them. Wow. And it's all the same and you can get it cheaper. So.
Little cookies from Colorado. 2 hours. That's good, Shannon.
2 hours before you had to go to bed, huh? Yeah, I can understand that, Marty. Eat them all before they kick in. Yeah, that happens. That's why I always like sometimes, take stuff in liquid because liquid hits you right now usually.
Yep.
That's like years and years back in the 70s when you could still buy benzodrine, methamphetamine in 10 milligram tablets over the counter.
Okay.
Had a friend, he'd never tried it before, and he took one. He had 10 of them. And, when you take a pill like that, it can take an hour to 2 hours before it kicks in. Well, nothing happened, so he took another one. Then he took another one.
Oh, my God.
About the middle of the night, he's like, I said, how many of those did you take? He goes, 3. I go, no, dude, 1 would have been enough. Well, it didn't do anything, so I took more. I go, oh, you're not going to be down for days. Because this was the good stuff, pharmaceutical. Yeah, it was like 4 days before he came down off of that.
Oh, man.
Because we were at a dance, big party going on the weekend, and wanted to stay up and get drunk and try to chase women. And all he did was just run around in circles. Oh, I know what you're talking about, Jason. Yeah, it is a good trip, but it doesn't last. That's why I always thought people that enjoyed cocaine, it's like, man, that stuff's expensive and it lasts 2 hours. I can buy a bottle of Jack Daniels and make it last all night.
Right.
You got some really good stuff to dance with one hit on your pipe and you're out for days. Keef is my favorite with, yeah, I've heard Keef is really good. I've never tried it, Plugs, but everybody says that's the stuff.
I understand that, John. You struggle enough with beer. Glad you never experimented. That's why I don't drink. I like it too much.
Yeah. Oh, well, back in my drug days, I liked drugs too much. That's why I quit them. Like drinking, I can take or leave.
Yeah.
But even though I was pretty much a 2 quart a day Jack Daniels man for years, but when I got into the drugs, I loved those. And one day that's enough. I got to stop.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
So they're really surprised. It's like I had my angiogram and the doctor finally had me in. It told me, kind of pissed me off because I got charged $30 to find out there's nothing wrong with my heart. Like I tried to tell you that, but you guys wouldn't go back into the old records and look.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could tell because when I first saw them, my triglycerides are high. This is high. That's high. Everything's always high. Always has been. And they go in do the angiogram and he goes, man, your veins are all clean. Your, what is it? Infraction rate's 43%. What originally they thought part of my heart was dead, but was a false positive,
right,
or a false negative. And he goes, you're fine. I go, yeah, I tried to tell you that before I had a second angiogram, but yeah. At least this time they did it through the wrist instead of through my thighs. So
That's good.
yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I know, Dennis. Someday I'll try that, but like I said, 9, I don't know. It just doesn't. The 8 takes away the pain, and that's what I use it for. Or if I'm like, I take melatonin to sleep, and if that don't work, then I'll take a gummy so I can sleep.
Yep.
You read what Danny said?
Yeah, I was just reading that. Yeah. Forgot about him using coffee.
I bet you were. I'll tell you about a friend of mine, Danny, named Corky. Lives back in Grass Valley. He was selling 4-way window pane one time, and the cops spotted him. Well, he had a fairly new sheet. I think he only sold a few hits off of it, so he ate the whole sheet so he wouldn't go to jail. He has never been the same since.
I bet.
In fact, he's on SSI, has been ever since, because his mind's gone. But I hadn't seen him after he did that, and I was going out to the fair one year, and he's standing there staring at the security guard at the front gate going, "They made me do it." And the security guard's going, "Hey, pal, maybe you ought to come in." I said, "I'll take care of him." I said, "Come on, Corky." I go, "Dude, you're going to go to jail if you don't calm down." Robinson Prospecting. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, don't know, John. He's usually up here by now, Greg.
Well, I haven't seen him, and I was hoping Charlie was going to be here tonight. I don't know what's going on.
And he might come in later, like Rob usually does.
Yeah, it was, Daddy. I met my wife now 38 years on Blotter. She thought I was a fool. Amazing what you can end up accomplishing on drugs. ML Ultra Program Trading. Oh, God, Jason. Crap internet on the road. Yeah. Say, I got better internet and a better computer now, Dennis. I haven't been freezing up or nothing since I got that. There for a while, man. I didn't even know if I could get on half the time. And anybody, if you don't know Robinson's Prospecting, go check out his channel. He's got a great channel.
Gene's in the chat.
Gene, how you doing? Great stream last night, Gene. That your premiere was awesome. Oh.
I missed it.
They found some great stuff, like they always do. To be the only detectives on a Caribbean island, yeah, that's a dream. That's a dream. They're living the dream. No, nothing wrong with that at all, Plugs. Become one with nature while you're talking to squirrels. Yeah, I've done that.
Well, I talk to squirrels without drugs, so
Yeah. But it's even better when you're on them. But you know.
Are you taking off, Dennis? Yeah, good night, man.
Good night, Dennis. Take care, brother. But no, Jim, haven't got a letter from you yet. Hope you put the right address on it, which my address is going to be changing here pretty soon, I think.
Are you moving?
Yeah, but just across town right now.
But your own place?
No. People I live with are going to buy a house.
Oh, that's cool.
They rent this one. Somebody has to live dream. Well, I'm glad it's you, Gene. You guys deserve it. Hey, just, you're great people. So. Someday I'd like to come out there and visit. Probably never happen, but I'd like to.
I hear you. Yep.
Always wanted to visit a Caribbean island. Oh, cool, Dennis. That'll make a great video. So, Gene, you like those magnets? Yeah, usually. Yeah, it hasn't made it, of course, with U.S. Postal. Oh, thank you, Gene. Yeah, he's got my first version of them. Mark does. I make different and big and little. And oh, I don't know if everybody saw last week, just in case you didn't.
Oh, I hear you, Gene. Me too.
Grab something here.
Yeah, I got an idea for a video as well.
Yeah.
Hey, got relics in the house.
Hey, everybody. Oh, let me fix that for you. There you go. You know, Park Rat Pat is doing Rattoberfest.
Yeah.
And everybody that wins is going to get one of these. They're different colors and stuff. A Rattoberfest fridge magnet. So.
Now, do you use two different color filaments, or do you just like color the Oktoberfest part direct?
We're doing stuff like that. I found these acrylic paint pens.
Okay.
And it's like a dozen of them for $12.
Wow.
Yeah, they work really well on this kind of stuff. What am I? I'm waiting for the orthopedic surgeon to call me any day, John. He just got the all clear from my cardiologist. Oh, you sent me a money order for 2 rat bastard magnets. One. Well, when it gets here, I haven't even made them up yet, but I will and get them out to you. I said this when it gets here, Jim. But hey, buddy.
Yeah, Dan, I hope it is just a head cold.
Come here. You want to come over and say hi to everybody? Come on. You always love to. Come on. It's okay. He'll wait and hop over. Hi, Adam. How you doing? With the way they do it now, John, couple of weeks. Said it, In fact, I'm only going to stay overnight in the hospital unless something gets complicated. As soon as I start walking, I'm out of there. Say hello. Yeah, show them your best side.
2 weeks now. Yeah. You sure it's not turning into a sinus infection, Dan? It's going on 2 weeks.
Yeah. What's the matter, buddy? Yeah, you might need to go see a doctor, Dan.
Yeah, give them some antibiotics.
Could get nasty.
Yep.
So I would get that checked out if it's,
Ah, cool, Gene. I'll make certain I watch it.
Yeah, it has, John. They go in from the front now, and they only make an incision about that wide to replace the ball and everything. It's really amazing. But, I mean, it'll take longer at my age, but he had a 45-year-old patient that went back to work in 2 weeks. So after having a full hip replacement. So.
Damn.
Sinus headache is a hot toddy. Yeah, mine was Jack Daniels and good old Jack and 7. So on the rocks. And that actually worked better than, they gave me Motrin. They gave me, of all things, hydrocodone. And even the hydrocodone wouldn't touch one of my cluster headaches.
Wow.
But a couple of shots of whiskey, it helped a little. But like I said, now I use the Delta 8, and that actually takes the edge off for me when I get one that it's survivable.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, I know, John. Considering my grandfather, in 1975, had a hip replacement. Then he died from a hip infection because they never got infected. They never got it out. And his doctor retired, left him that way. And the new doctor, by the time he got to him, was into his kidneys and liver, and they couldn't do anything.
Right. Hey, drop the link, Bill. See if anybody wants to join us.
You want to come up, Gene? Show off some of your stuff because you find some great stuff.
No, he does.
They, old coins, jewelry, just great stuff.
Old gold. Hey, Frankie.
Petey's in here. Hi, Frankie.
Yeah.
How you doing? Cool. Good to see you. Yeah, once I do, like I said, get some hip fix and I get a vehicle again. The only place without asking permission, which I'm going to do because there's a lot of old farms around here, and that's where What's in the Plug is getting some great permissions. Old houses and farms.
Oh wow.
The Corps of Engineer beaches at the lakes is legal.
Oh
Gotta
yeah.
have a permit, but that's okay.
Hey, Nick.
Hi, Nicholas. How you doing? Miss doing marbles with you, brother. Those were some fun times.
Yeah. Even though it drove me up a wall.
Okay, Gene. Yeah, I know. Gave you problems. I can understand that. The flash on. I used to do that. The wife would play video games. She had to keep away from the ones that had the strobe effect. Yeah, I know, John. Unfortunately, the few I found around here that I walked to before my hip went bad, I'm in a floodplain. And so there's like 3-4 feet of silt on top of.
Oh.
Yeah, so all I was getting was garbage. Not even modern clad nothing, just a lot of garbage. In fact, John from What's in the Plug, he was digging some woods behind his house, and he found a real, not a repop, U.S. cavalry belt buckle from the Civil War.
Hey, good night, Dan.
Cool. And I know there's a lot of that activity around here, and what I'd like to find is the Confederate side of the stuff, because that stuff is rare.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from him, Nick. I know last week they're saying there's nothing they could do for him. But John, have you heard any more about the hunter? I've been meaning to get on Facebook and talk to him, because I don't get on there that often. I just I got a lot of scammers on Facebook after me, and it's like I'm about ready to drop my Facebook pages. That crap gets old. I dropped my Twitter and my Instagram just because of that.
Yeah, I would drop Facebook, but it's the only way I communicate with my family.
Yeah.
Because I don't have their phone number. They don't have mine. I like it that way.
Yeah. Well, that's how I used to talk to my son, but he's been ignoring me the last 6 months. So it's like, Rocky Mountain Rob, how you doing? Good to see you. How's it going, brother? You're going out on a rescue today? How'd that go?
That's true, Nick. Email works too.
Well, he doesn't have an email. He always got us a phone, and he's never got an email. So. In fact, he's so cheap, he can only use his phone through Facebook, and he has to have internet connection because he's never paid the fees. It's funny how that works. You can still use them on the internet, but you can't make regular phone calls.
That's cool, John.
All right, Rob. Good. I'm glad it went well. That's awesome. We had 6 of the kittens go to Petco. They were there 2 weeks, and the rescue we work with dropped the ball, didn't even advertise it or nothing, so they all came back. Thought that was pretty sucky. Okay, Danny's doing okay, but that's all you got, huh? Yeah. I can imagine, he's probably not real happy right at the moment, which I can understand.
He's a young guy too.
Yeah, 46.
Yep.
I mean, life dealt him a bad hand, that's for sure.
I agree.
W10, what's a W10?
I never heard of that.
Neither have I. Yeah, I'm sub to him, plugs, but I missed those. Hi, Jeremy. I missed those streams. W10, is that one of those kids detectors? I know he was. Oh wait, he was giving away some Quest X10. Is that what you're thinking of, plugs? The Quest.
That's what he wrote. Yep.
Q10. Well, X10, the Quest X10. Good detector for the price. Yeah, I know. It's called Quest, but the model is an X10. Plugs. I was looking at. They got an X5 and X10. Then they've got the Q20, Q30, Q40, and a Pro model. Because I've got one of their pinpointers. So
Doing well, Jeremy. Doing well.
Yeah, no, but you'll have to try it, plugs. You'll like it. I mean, I was watching them dig old silvers over and gold over in England with them in the Netherlands down about 9-10 inches with a $200 detector. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's right, John. Tony is just there fishing. Haven't seen much of him lately.
Yeah, I haven't seen him around either. Huh. Hey, buddy, come here. Here, really can give you away. No, not you. Even though there's times I'd like to give you away, you goofball.
Well, hey, Bill, I got to jump off. My dog's going
jump off. Okay.
crazy with the cat.
Thanks for coming up, Mark.
Yeah, no problem.
Here comes my co-host.
Take care, guys.
Thank you, Mark. You're always welcome up here. Oh, 60. Yeah, that's right, Dad. Danny, it's a 60. And as you can see, I've got my co-host buddy here. This is Gray Baby. How you doing, bud? Turn around and say hi to everybody. Come on, turn around. Turn around. He's well trained, as you can tell. Come on. Say hi. No, don't lay down. Yeah, he was just in here, Jeremy, talking about he's going to crash because he's going to go metal detecting with you tomorrow. Cool. Frankie, have you been able to get out and detect? Steve, Starry, Lost and Found. How you doing? Thanks for being here, brother. Nice, plugs. Turn around, say hi. Hey, over here. Camera's over here. Other way. Turn around. Turn around. Come on. Over here, buddy. Say hi to the people. You always turn your back on them. Yeah, sorry, Gene. Just spotted you there. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Bill. How are you?
Good. Been cleared for my surgery. I'm just waiting for the orthopedic surgeon to call so I can get it done.
Nice.
Doctor was amazed because all my blood work shows all this and that wrong. They did the angiogram. My arteries are clear. My heart's working fine. And I could tell he had this, he was trying to hold it back. You can tell he's flabbergasted because he was telling me, you're going to die. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. And then, the good Lord just had me ace the test. So
Wow. Then he said, "Hey, your heart's good, so
Yep.
let's do it." Nice. What's going on with the hunter? I've totally missed it.
well, he was born with the veins of like a 5-year-old. He's 46, but his veins are like that of a 5-year-old, 6-year-old. So he's got 14 stents. He's been having problems. They thought they might have to put more in, but apparently there's nothing more they can do for him.
Wow.
So it's just, it's a day-to-day thing. Well, thank you, Nick. So he was just, hi, Shane, see my win. He was just one of those people. He was dealt, a bad deck of cards when he's bored. And yeah, who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, none of us know how long we have,
No.
I mean, lots of people step out into eternity every single day. So that's why every person has to make sure that they're ready.
Yeah.
Hello to Frankie and everybody else in the chat. Hi, Jim. I'm just going back through. Some people said hello to me. So, yeah, we got our magnets like, wow, I want to say Friday, maybe Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're pretty awesome.
Surprising. It only cost me 30 cents more to ship them to you than it would if I shipped them to Florida.
Which makes no sense because it's the USPS, and if it's flat rate, I mean, it's the United States Postal Service that delivers it,
Yeah, but you got to read it, the fine print. It's a flat rate for the 48 lower states. Alaska, anywhere else is more. But the point being is, it's like it would cost me 3 times as much to ship the same thing to Canada, just even over the border. That's the one that gets me.
Yeah. Which doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
My in-laws had a post office box in the States, in Maine, for years, when their kids were in college. And they recently did away with it. But the reason why is because if their kids ever sent anything home, it just costs so much more to ship it just across the border. They live about 30 minutes into New Brunswick. So,
yeah. And the other thing is I work for a place, and some of the equipment we used was made in Canada. So when I needed parts, I had to deal with shipping through Canada. And they are very strict. When you do other countries, you've got to tell what's in it, how many, all that. And if you just got one thing wrong in Canada, it was in customs for 6 weeks, period.
Yep.
So, and I'll be darned. And every time we needed something overnight, somebody over there would mess up the paperwork, and I'd call them and go, well, I got my deliveries today. Where are my parts? Oh, they're in customs. We're shipping you another one.
Yep. Something that's unique about where we live, to fly here and to fly home, you don't need a passport. Your driver's license works just like any other state. But when you come in, you don't go through customs. But when you leave the island, you go through customs.
Really? That's kind of strange.
Very strange. All it is another person you have to talk to, and then you give them your driver's license and they ask you why you were here, how long you were here. And that's pretty much it. I mean, as long as you don't have anything questionable, you're good. But I've always wondered, it's a U.S. territory. Why do you go through customs?
Yeah, that one does it.
But not on the way here, just on the way home.
Okay, it's like California. Leaving California, you don't have to check in. But coming into California, if you're driving, you got to stop at the way. And you declare anything. If they pull you over, go, okay, do you bring any fruits or this or that? And so,
yeah,
I guess something like that. But
I guess.
Yeah. But all you got to do is if you're driving up Reno and tell them, coming from Reno, they just wave you right on through. So
I actually went to California one time. I was over in Yuma, Arizona, and my friend there took us over to the Imperial Sand Dunes.
Yeah.
And so we went there. That was really neat. I mean, just to be able to jump off the top of those things, and when you land, it's like you're landing in a pillow. That sand is so soft.
Yep.
It was amazing.
I know. That's California. I mean, it's like it's got every climate zone that the world has in California.
Yeah, just one state. Yep. Where we live on the east end is like a desert. It's Arab desert, so all of the trees are very short. The bushes are they have, thorns all over them. There's cactus everywhere. And the west side of the island, just 28 miles away, is a rainforest.
Cool.
So you have just such a variety in a 28-mile long island, which is pretty crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
You had flurries today? Rocky Mountain says, oh my goodness. And 50 knot winds. Wow.
ouch. No thanks. I couldn't
Yeah.
take it anymore.
That's when the cold gets serious, is when you have wind. That's what separates it right there. I mean,
Yeah.
you can deal with cold, but if it's windy, oh man.
No, yeah, no.
It
No,
just
I got
cuts
some real bad arthritis, and yeah, same thing here. If it's just cold, I can deal with it. But that wind kicks in, it's like, nope, I don't go outside. No,
Yep.
not at all.
Hello, Ken. Hello, Shane.
Whoa,
Hello,
$5.30 a gallon for heating oil, huh? Darn,
wow.
that's a lot. Rob, how you doing, Rob? But so your last hunt was really good, Gene.
Thank
found
you.
some
Yeah, we
stuff.
went we went to a beach we hadn't been to. We went like one time for with the boys a couple of years ago. We did an Easter egg hunt there when we first started detecting. So it was just a few months into our, detecting hobby. And I had the idea to take Easter eggs and put the coins in the eggs and bury them at the beach. And so that's the beach that we did it. And then, we were there eating lunch one day, and Jean's girlfriend lost her ring. Hey, Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Lost her ring on the beach while they were walking, and they couldn't find it. So we went home, got the detector, came back, and found it. And then I found a barber quarter, and I said, okay, we're coming back here tomorrow. And we did.
Yeah.
And that was it. I mean, we found silver dimes, a knife. It was a really good hunt.
Yeah. How you doing,
How are you,
Rob?
Rob?
I'm here, Bill. That's about all I can say tonight.
I hope it gets better, man.
Yeah.
I'm just my stomach's. Denise brought too much candy bars to the trivia tonight, and my stomach's. Yeah, yeah.
It's really good while you're eating them.
Yes. And then after you eat that last one, you went, "Oh, that was like too many."
Right. Like, what did I do?
What kind of candy bars, Rob?
They were Snickers.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
That's my favorite right
They were
there.
the baby Snickers for Halloween. She brought out the Halloween candy early. I still don't know where it is. She hides it on me till trivia night.
So this doesn't happen every day. I can understand that.
Thunder Rob, go sit on the toilet. I just got off the toilet plugs, okay? So I
Ironic.
don't move fast, but if you see me move semi-fast off the screen, you'll know why. So, Gene, did you mention tonight that you're going to be doing Thirsty Thursdays to this week?
I did in the chat, but I haven't yet to everybody here. So yeah, Thursday night, Shane is out of town, so that he asked us to do Thirsty Thursday. So we're going to be doing our live 9 o'clock
cool.
Thursday night. So
Yep, he sent me a text today saying, "Please spread the word." I said, "We'll talk about it tonight," and then you're here. I'm like, "I'll let Gene talk about it."
perfect.
So what time are you doing that Thursday night, Gene?
9 o'clock, same time slot
Oh,
that
okay.
Shane does Thursday.
That would
Thursday.
be 8 p.m. because Mark the Bird Hunter is going to interview me on his stream at 7 p.m. Thursday.
On history.
Yeah, he's doing a stream on Thursdays now, an hour before Shane.
Nice. That's good.
Oh. Keto candy bars, Shane? I don't think so.
Yeah,
Wow.
Pastry said hiding chocolate should be against the law, and I completely agree. Yeah, that wasn't a Snickers, Nathan. Absolutely not. So
Did you see what Plug said? So you're unplugged for days now?
that is never a problem for me, people. I had well, not to get on a weird, gross subject. I had a girlfriend.
Rob.
I had a girlfriend in the early '90s that went number 2 once a month. Once a month, and she wasn't like her body just dissolved everything she ate, and she never had to go.
Wow.
That is wow.
Well, Nick, I wish I could have told you I found gold today, but it turned out to be a costume ring. It was gold colored, but Gene, you use the Knox, right?
Yeah.
I did a water hunt today, and I was in the water for about 3 hours, and then I did the wet sand for about maybe another hour and a half. And I knew I was running late to trivia, so I was kind of swinging fast on the wet sand, working my way back to my vehicle. And like all day, I hadn't gotten that perfect ring signal. And right there, walking my back to the truck in the wet sand, I was walking fast, and I heard this beep, and I backed it up, and I went over it right as water was coming in. So it was maybe like 4 inches of water, and it was a perfect 17 on the Knox and never moved. If you get a perfect 17 on the Knox and it never moves here, it is 99.9% of the time it is a ring.
Yep.
And sure as hell, I had that. I mean, it was gold colored. I figured it wasn't going to be gold because it was too high, but a 17 will be a ring every time.
Yep.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
And then I got a little solitaire earring that still had the pin back on it, and it rang up a real faint 7/8 in about 1.5 feet, 2 feet of water. That was so small, it would have fell in the scoop holes, except when I brought it out and got the sand out, it was sitting on top of a teeny seashell, and it didn't fall out of the scoop.
So this weekend,
They offer 20% off the item. I'm like, oh my
So this weekend, we celebrated Angela's birthday, my wife's birthday. It was actually Tuesday, but last week was a crazy busy week for us. You know, our church has a school, and we had 2 teachers off island, so she and I both were substituting. So this weekend we went to a resort, and we stayed at a resort, which is really neat. And Gene and I went detecting Monday morning. And, you know, we were finding coins and, you know, trash and all the normal stuff. And then I got a really faint 8, and it was about a foot deep. You ready for this?
Fire away.
All right.
Oh, man, look at that.
It has, sorry, I'm really bad with this camera, by the way. Here it is. It has 9 diamonds, Rob.
And I'm assuming they're real.
Yeah, it's 14K.
See, I'm not going to give much away because I haven't done the video yet, but I just got my first gold ring of the year, and it's got 12 stones around it, but unfortunately we tested them with the diamond tester and they're not real.
Oh, man.
I was really hoping that was going to be my first diamond ring, and I still don't have my first real diamond, but that is beautiful, Gene.
This thing is awesome. So we were later on that day, like where we live, I try to tell my boys all the time, thank you, Jeremy. I try to tell my boys all the time, we live in a very unique place where we can do beach hunting and then go relic hunting at 1700 and 1800s properties. And so yesterday was that day. We went to the beach in the morning, and we went to a plantation in the afternoon. And the lady that lives there, I was telling her about this ring, and I showed her a picture of it, and she said, "Oh, you mean like this one?" And she held her ring up, and she said it's an anniversary ring, and the diamonds are for the number of years that whoever it was, that's how many years they were married. Because she has one, and it has 11 diamonds on it, and it looks just like this, except it has 2 more diamonds.
Wow, see, you learn something every day.
Yep. So if they're in a line like that, just lined right up. She said that's an anniversary ring. When I pulled it out, Rob, it had been in there so long, like the gold itself it didn't look gold. And in the video when it comes out, I said it's plated. But then we saw 14K, and I was like, what? That's weird, you know. And then we got it home and got it cleaned, tested it.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, what do you use to clean it?
I have a tumbler, a jewelry tumbler.
Oh, I know. That's right.
So especially for this gold, it just tumbled and it's just came out beautiful.
Yeah, I don't have a tumbler, so I usually use for my silver. I use baking soda.
Make sure.
Okay.
I went out and she still.
We went to Amazon and got a tumbler, and it's a bigger one, but it has a screw-on lid. I had one earlier that had like just the metal lid that screws on with the top, and it just when you're tumbling stuff, especially with soap, it just kind of gets to where it doesn't spin very well. So we went with a different one this time, and I like this one much better.
So what do you put in for your material inside, like walnuts?
I have tumbling media, so it's like little stainless steel rods, like little.
And they don't mess up the ring.
Mm-mm. That's what they're made for is cleaning and polishing jewelry.
Plug says send it to me.
I see.
Miss Mercury, yeah, I thought I had my first diamond ring this year. I've gotten several over the years beach hunting. I've gotten several gold rings, and I've gotten several gold rings with stones in them, but as yet, none of them have turned out to be real. But yeah,
We
I
have
got
found-
me. Yeah, I got me a costume ring today. I got me the earring. I'm gonna probably after I get off the stream, I'm gonna look at the earring. It rang up a 7/8, which is a gold range,
That's a
but
gold
yet
number.
it
Yeah.
looks black, and I could tell it's been down there a long time because it was such a faint signal. And this beach that I go to today, I actually left my little 6-inch sniper coil on
Good night,
because
Frankie.
once you get in the water, it's a very rocky beach. They just left all the natural rocks there. So this is also the beach I found my platinum ring at, because people walk out there in their bare feet and then they step on these rocks and they fall over and they put their hands out and their ring comes off. And I didn't want to be smashing my new 15-inch coil on rocks and breaking the ears off like Gig Master's done. So I left the little coil on so I could kind of skim over the rocks. And it worked out real well. Hey, David Traesure.
Now that's one thing we haven't found is a platinum ring.
I've gotten 2, Gene, and to me, they're almost more exciting to find than gold. Those are the only 2 rings I've sold. I've never sold any of my gold rings. I've never sold any of my silver rings, but I immediately sold both platinum rings. They were both men's rings. They didn't fit me. Denise wasn't interested in them, so I took them to. Denise has a silver guy that pays us.
Have a good night, Jason.
Like 90%.
Good night, Jason.
Have a good night, Jason. Shane says I can't even find a marble, let alone a diamond.
I'll tell you another ring that I want to find that I've only seen one person dig, and I think it was totally gnarly treasure, but I want to find a smart ring. Have you seen those?
No.
Oh,
Look it up. They exist. It's a ring, but you charge it, and it keeps track of your blood pressure, your heart rate, and all that kind of stuff, just like a smart watch.
wow.
But it's a smart ring.
I thought when I watched that wasn't on Monday Digs, was it?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Because I watched it and I thought it was that was a commercial. Because Google's coming out with a smartwatch too, like Apple's. Google's got a whole lineup of things coming out to directly compete with Apple. They're coming out with their own iPod, earpod things. They're coming out with their own watch. Yeah, but I haven't seen it on a ring yet. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we're hoping to find a platinum and a smart ring someday.
Now, I did find my first spinner ring. I do have a spinner ring.
I found one of those too. Mine was silver.
I don't think mine was. I think mine was stainless.
Mine's
I've got 2 platinum. On Clearwater Beach one night, I found 2 stainless rings way on 2 ends of the beach, but that was the first time I'd ever found 2 men's stainless rings together. Platinum rings one was in the water on a beach, and the other one was in a 1906's front yard, and they had just moved in. They were unloading their U-Haul when Troy stopped and knocked. We were on our way home from Florida Hunt 8 in Gainesville, Florida Hunt 7. And we were outside, we were south of Gainesville, some small town, and these folks were moving in with their U-Haul, and Troy stopped and knocked, and they said, hey, we have a baby grand piano. If you 3 guys help us get that grand piano in here, you guys can have at it on the yard. And Troy became like Joe Mover, and he organized the 5 people we had, and we moved that grandbaby piano in. They set it up, put it together, and we hit the yard. And
Troy can get a permission, can he?
He is the permission king, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He averages between 7 to 8 out of 10. And let me tell you something. When he comes back, Gene, if he comes back to the truck and he gets a no, he's talking to himself on the way back to the truck. It's hilarious. He's like, I don't know why. What happened there? I don't know why these people won't let me. We should have had that yard. Well, Troy, you're not going to give everyone. No, we should have had this one. But I mean, we were driving around the town of Dunedin, which is south of me, but north of Troy from St. Pete. And we were driving around. He goes, what do you want to do? I said, see this big corner lot here? It's got the huge side yard. He goes, yeah. I've been wanting that for a year, but nobody's ever there. And he goes, oh, there's a car there. I'll go and knock. We were doing that lawn 5 minutes later.
Goodness gracious.
And he got a silver war nickel on the freaking surface.
Hey, speaking of surface, did you see Marty? Digging with Marty, he says, surface find cat face spinner ring.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
It was his first spinner.
David Traesure, I'm going to find a junk.
Hey, I'm telling you, if I could show you the pile of junk we find, I know we find a lot of good stuff, but I'm telling you, buckets.
You know what I told Denise I wanted to do because I saw the guy do this and it had like tens of thousands of views? I told Denise, her dad used to be famous when her dad had his own truck and he still drove before he got older. He used to stop and pick stuff up on the side of the highway. He would just come home with stuff on the side of the highway all the time. So I told Denise, I said, you know what? That's a great idea. I've got the truck. I drive a lot. I'm always out metal detecting. I said, I'm going to stop and pick up every single item I see on the side of the road, and then we'll store it for a year. And then I'm going to do a big video on everything I found on the side of the road a year. And she goes, this is what she said, Gene. I apologize for saying, you ain't storing that shit here. So you can find someplace else to put your year worth of crap on the side of the road. I was like, yeah, but that'd be such a great video. Not here, it ain't.
Good night, Rob. Rocky Mountain.
Plug says if you come wash his cars, he'll let you detect his yard.
That's a deal, you plugs. I've mowed an entire acre yard with a push mower. I can easily wash a car. Thank you, Paystreak Super Freak.
My anniversary and wife just got home. Paystreak Super Freak. Thanks for being here.
Oh yeah, Rocky Rob. That's a push end immediately there.
Yeah.
At your anniversary and your wife just walked in the door.
Happy anniversary, Rob.
Do you know when I know it's my anniversary? When
I
Denise
did,
tells me.
Traesure.
And usually by then, Gene, it's too late,
I was
okay?
going to say, then you're in trouble. You're already in trouble, man.
I can never remember any of my anniversaries, but I can tell you the day we got divorced on every one of them.
You know, that's like whoever came up with the phrase, the two best days of a boat owner's life is the day he buys it and the day he sells it. And let me tell you something, I've owned two boats, and that is an extremely accurate statement.
You ever heard what BOAT stands for, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. Bust out another 1,000.
Absolutely. And let me tell you something. I made the mistake of going in with a my police department partner at the police department. I made a mistake of going in with him. Yeah, don't ever go in partners on a boat with somebody you're not related to.
Yeah. That sounds like the type of a deal that ends friendships.
I hate that phrase. Sorry, Rob. I just hate that phrase. Happy wife, happy life. I just hate that phrase. Of course, that's also coming from a guy who's not married, so don't pay any attention to me.
You talk about boats. Remember a friend of mine back home, his dad passed away and left him a 1964 Sears 14-foot fiberglass. Beautiful little boat, windshield, everything. The first day he took it out to a lake called Walls Lake, man-made lake. This idiot walks by and reaches over and leans on the windshield of a 50-year-old boat. The guy is bigger than me and shattered that windshield.
My partner was out in the Gulf of Mexico, and he would swim in and pick up girls and bring them back to the boat. And he brought this girl back to the boat, and he went to put it in gear, and it wouldn't do nothing. He put it in reverse, wouldn't do nothing. So obviously she left the boat and swam back to shore because that was an epic fail. So he had to sit there until somebody towed him we had it in a storage in a dry dock. And so he took it back, and they were lifting it up on the boat, lifted back. And as soon as it cleared the water, everybody on the dock started laughing at him because the prop had spun off. So
wow.
So somewhere off Clearwater Beach, guys, if you're deep
There's
enough with a metal detector, there's a nice prop out there that you can get.
I used to love just to watch the idiots at the lake because at one end of that rock, they had the no wake zone.
Plug says he's buying his wife the Manicure for their anniversary.
But I'm sitting up on the beach, and the sheriffs are there in their boat. Here's the no wake sign, and this guy's coming up on a jet ski, and he's looking at everybody, and he opens it up wide right in front of the sheriffs. So the light comes on the boat, and the guy stops, and he's like, "Where were they?" Like, well, they were right there next to you, dummy.
Wow.
Hey, Tin Cup Tim.
Tim, how you doing?
Hey, Tim. Yeah, that's a you said earlier you didn't like that statement, but I don't like that question. When I've been pulled over a few times in my life, mostly when I was younger, of course, and they would come up to the side and, didn't you see me sitting there? I mean, if I did, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I had a guy ask me tonight. He heard me get a signal, and I started digging. He come over and he says, "What do you got?" And that's the word. People just don't realize. If I knew what I had, I wouldn't have to be whether I was digging it or not. So I said, "Well, I don't know. I haven't dug it up yet." And that's all it took. He turned around, walked off. I guess that was, it's sometimes when I'm out curb stripping and people come out of their house and they're like, what are you doing in my yard? And I just want to say I'm scuba diving. I just want to say that one time.
Yeah. The questions are funny though. They're funny. And I think people just kind of feel awkward, like they have to say something to you as they're walking by you at the beach or wherever. But
and I actually had 6 couples walk by me today and not say a word. And I was like, way to go, people. You didn't feel obligated to ask me the obligatory stupid question. You're right, Gene. Because you invariably get, what's the best thing you ever found? The 2 questions you get, what's the best thing you ever found? And then the opposite question is, you ever really find anything good with that thing?
Do you ever find anything worth anything? Yep. I get that one all the time.
No, sir. I'm out here every day doing this because in 6 years, I'm still waiting to find my first good object.
Yep.
Scuba diving. Epic.
He did say earlier, by the way, if you come out and polish, I think he said some of the brass that he found, he would let you detect his yard.
I'm ready, guys. I just need addresses. I was thinking of doing that on one of my Sunday streams, putting up. I don't know how Shane does the polls on his. I don't know if StreamYard lets you do that or if he's got an app that does that you can put a poll up. And I want to do a poll one time to ask people, one, have they ever paid to metal detect anywhere, like somebody's house or an old yard that you've just been dying to get and you offer people money? Or 2, would you be willing to pay if you knew that nobody had ever hit that ground?
We've never paid, but we've donated what we found at one place. They said, hey, we don't mind, but we're joined together with the Historical Society on island. So if you find anything, we'd like to keep it. So we don't mind. I mean, we just love digging it up. It's just history, and we found a bunch of stuff too. I mean, old coins. It was good.
Thanks, plugs. That's what I absolutely needed. And Tin Cup Tim, that's a great answer. I always tell them I'm monitoring the annual earthworm migration. Absolutely. I'll tell you something. When I was up in southern Missouri with Shane and Iron Antler Beard, and I was digging there when he got that big church permission, I'm telling you, if I ever wanted to go fishing with some serious red wigglers, Missouri would be the place to dig those babies up. Oh my gosh, did they have some big ass worms in Missouri?
It's the rainy season here, so if we are digging in the dirt, the worms are crazy right now.
And I get those really big white grubs that are down there.
Yep.
And I'm like, you know what? I don't know how people do on these I'll do anything adventure shows and
they eat those things.
Yeah, no, I don't give a crap if they say they're all protein. No, that's Plug says if I didn't look like Al Pacino, I could get some permissions.
We've donated stuff to homeowners too. Like what we did for one of the places where we dig very frequently is we took one of the relic cases and put a bunch of relics that we found on that property, buckle, button, even a ring. We put it in that relic case for them because I think it's pretty cool that they can have stuff that the people that lived there, 100, 200 years ago used. So we've done that too. That's what.
We've had houses where the people have wanted stuff. And like I say, there was that time Tommy and his buddy, River Sticks Outdoors, they did that lady's house up there in North Florida. And she had said, I don't, you guys can keep whatever you wanted. And at the end of the hunt, they showed her everything. And there was so much cool stuff. She changed her mind and she took every single thing they found.
Wow.
And it's different if going in that the people want it. But when your mindset's going to be, man, I've got some great stuff to take home, and then it just gets snatched away from you.
It would definitely sour the experience for sure.
Paystreak says, I will wash cars or mow lawns too. Yeah, I've mowed a lawn. I've donated lots of cool finds to the property homeowner, but I will never pay. See, and I don't even like this beach I go to today. Technically, it was a state park, which obviously you can still metal detect the water, but you can't detect the grounds of the park. But it's $4 to get into the park. And I hate paying. Anywhere. But considering that was the place I found my gold ring, I was like, well, $4 was definitely worth a gold ring. Like I had a free place to park for 2.5 years on Clearwater Beach. And then Denise has a client that owns a $600,000 condo in this condo building, and so she would give us a parking pass and date it, and then if I would go in like after the date, and the one guy would just slide me in. Well, they got a new parking manager, and she decided she was going to be the heavy. And if you went in there without the correct date on that parking pass, she just turned you right around, and U-turn, said, if you don't have today's date on there and you haven't been invited here today, you are not parking here. And that was literally 10 steps from the beach. There you go.
Yeah.
What's everything? Give them the trash. Yeah, I believe there's a Sopranos episode where they're the I guess they do a tax on the garbage service or something, and this one guy decides he's not paying the mob extra to haul his garbage, and they were like, okay, no problem. And they literally just backed the garbage truck right up to the front yard of his business, and they just dumped the entire garbage trailer right there in the front of the guy's business and drive away. If I pay for parking, they get paid. Yeah, you can't do that anymore in Clearwater Beach. They've got those electronic. That's why we used to find so many quarters on Clearwater Beach, because they had the pay meters like the city does, and then they went to the swipe credit card. So now, like if you're pulling out and there's a half hour left, you can't even hand the receipt to the people waiting behind you, so they get that half hour, because the receipt has your tag number on it, and if the parking enforcement guy comes by and that tag doesn't have the same as a ticket, they'll still ticket you even with a valid parker if that tag doesn't match up.
Wow.
Yeah, it's getting. Well, the problem is there's just not enough parking on Clearwater Beach.
Yeah. Hey, that night before the storm when you were out there and there wasn't a soul, that was crazy.
Let me tell you something. I expected it to be like a last night hurrah.
Yes.
Because it wasn't like the night before. It was like a day and a half. So there was going to be like another night that the hurricane was just starting to come in. So I thought, well, the night before, it's going to be partying and drinking city and people out there. Man, it was just boarded up windows and sandbags. I mean, I was the only car. When I got over the bridge on the island of Clearwater, it was scary. I mean, the cops had taken up all the traffic signs and the speed limit signs, and they'd pulled all the garbage cans up. They'd had all the big lifeguard towers. They'd already used the tractor and brought them up off the beach. And then I hit the beach, and I saw a cop way down by the pier, and I thought, oh, they're down there rousting the homeless people that they hang a hammock under the pier. So I figured they were down there rousting up and so then a second SUV cruiser went down the beach, and I'm like, he's going to drive right by me and tell me the beach is closed. But I was like, I'm going to detect till he comes by, and he drove right by me, looked right at me, and just kept on driving. I was like, all right, the beach is not closed. I'm just the only idiot out here. And I did that video, Gene, because I wanted to see, here's the beach looking really nice before the storm. And then I wanted to go down there, and I did. I went down there 2 hours after they reopened the beach. Gene, I thought I was going to be the only guy down there. I literally went there 2 hours after they announced the causeway was open and they were going to let people go over the causeway. I got on the beach. I was the 7th guy on the beach.
Wow. That's wild.
But I love hunting behind these guys on the beach that go like this.
Oh, yeah. They miss it all.
They go down the beach like that. I'm like, wow, if that coin's not under that low spot, the other 3 feet don't count for him.
Yep. It's just the straight line that he gets.
Yep.
Oh, you talk about that. Finders keepers.
Yes, and I found like it. I know. People say, why do you drive 120 miles round trip to find a silver dime? And I'm like, you could buy it at the coin store right next door here for $2.50. I go, it's not the same. People don't understand. It's not the same. And that's why either you get metal detecting or you don't. It's that simple.
You talk about the way that swing the guy was doing, like a golf swing. One of Finders Keepers videos for when his channel was on before, you see this guy walking behind him, and he's doing the same thing like this, swinging it, and you're just cracking up. And then as he walking by, he comes back by, and he looks at John. He goes, "We're leaving. There's nothing here."
Crazy.
It's like, well, if you didn't swing your metal detector like a golf club, you might get a signal.
Yeah, because we all call it, swinging the dirt, or metal detecting hobbies called swinging. It's actually sweeping.
Yeah. If you look at World War II, the guys with the metal detector, they were called mine sweepers.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, guys, I'm going to head out.
Well, thank you for coming up,
All right,
Gene.
guys. And before Gene goes, Thursday night, Thursdays is going to be on Gene's channel. We Dig It, and not on Ohio River History. Gene's doing it. And you said you're starting at what time, Gene?
9 o'clock.
9
Same
o'clock,
time.
9 p.m. Eastern Central Time, guys. And he will be taking Shane's place, and I will be there for you, Mr. Gene.
So
Awesome.
will I.
Can't wait, guys. Everybody have a good night.
Take care, Gene.
Bye.
Take care. Thank you.
Low and slow. That's right, Mr. Olin. Low and slow.
Slow and slow. Yeah, that's one thing I noticed about the Vanquish. When I first got it, I was swinging it like I did my Technetics, which is like a fast swing. That Vanquish did not like a fast swing. I was missing all kinds of targets with it. In fact, it was John from Finders Keeper. He goes, it's like the Knox. He goes, slow down, slow your swing down. The Mind Lab likes a slow swing.
Well, I know that Troy has learned to slow his swing down since he started hunting with Dalton, because Troy used to swing really fast to try and cover a lot of ground, and Dalton's gone behind him with that little coil a little bit slower, and he'll pick up stuff that Troy misses. And another guy we hunt with named Greg, if he swings too fast, Dalton will go behind us and find stuff. Hey, Greg.
Hi, Greg.
Yeah, no shit, Jim Steele. If I ever find a landmine while detecting, I'm running. I'll be right behind you, Jim.
Not tonight, Greg. We're just having the two of us up here now that Gene's left. Okay, Greg? No. But yeah,
I'm gonna stay on as long as I can, Bill, but if the stomach acts up, I may.
Yeah. But no, I learned with the Vanquish. When I swing fast, I miss all kinds of targets. So
I was wondering when Mind Lab came to our area at Fort DeSoto, and they invited 3 clubs for the demonstration with the Vanquish. I didn't really quite understand why Mind Lab was coming out with the Vanquish. I mean, and I'll be quite honest with you, I didn't really understand that for quite a while. But when you realize that the 540's got pretty much the same electronics as the Knox does, but it's not waterproof. Now, she didn't make any sales at the presentation because a lot of the guys that already had the machine they wanted, they already had the Equinox. It was waterproof. But if you're somebody, I don't know, Bill, if you do the water or not, but if you're somebody that even if you just hunt the dry sand and then you want to hunt the dirt, but you're not an actual water guy, that Vanquish is perfect because it's like having a Mind Lab that's just not waterproof.
yeah. No, I want to hit the beach. Well, Mark the Bird Hunter was here earlier. And like the one public ground I can do here, I got to get a permit, is I can do the Army Corps of Engineer beaches at the lakes. Got to get a
Wow,
permit.
you need a permit for that?
Yeah, in this county, yes. Got to get a permit.
When I was in Georgia and I went into a national park, that park was run by the Army Corps of Engineer. And
Yeah.
when I asked the guard at the booth, and he said, I think it's okay, but he went and pulled the park manual out. It was like this thick, and he went through the thing. And he was like, yes, sir, you're more than welcome to do the beach and the water. And that was a national, park run by the Army Corps of Engineers, and they allowed it. So when I first started detecting 5 years ago, people said, oh, no, national parks are a huge no-no. That's usually the case, but not always the case.
Always the case.
There are exceptions to that rule.
And that's like a lot of people don't think they see national forest and national park and they think they're the same. No, you can detect any national forest you want to and their campgrounds. The only rule is if you find Native American artifacts, you have to stop and find the closest ranger and let them know.
All right, I want to answer 2 people. First off, hi, Tom Riley. Thank you, plugs. And John CZ Kid found a quarter I dug with a W mint mark. Just sold it for $10, even though it was in rough shape, but it sold. W mint marks are getting hard to find. I've got a box of halves here, or excuse me, a box of quarters that I'm going to be looking through, and that's one of the things I'm going to be looking for. So good find there, John. West Point W is the West Point mint, and that's the least minted of them. And then Plug says, if I'm going to hunt in the water, I'll get an Excalibur. Guys, that video I did on the Manicore, that was kind of like an investigative question video. It went pretty big time, like I was hoping it would. and I've gotten comments on that video from all around the world. And one of the things, Plugs, that most people said, if I'm going to go in the water, even though I own a Knox, or if I'm going to do serious water detecting, I'm just pulling out the Excalibur. So many people said that, Plugs, or excuse me, Plugs. And I'll tell you, when we get a ring finder's call out on Clearwater Beach, if we get the ring finder's call and it's in the wet sand or the dry sand, everybody shows up with their Equinoxes. But if we get one it's 2 to 3 to 4 feet in the water, those other 3 guys I hunt with, they all have Excaliburs, and they bring the Excalibur for water hunting. And the guys in my club feel the exact same way. If you want a serious water detector, get the Excalibur. And I'm going to bring up his name, Bill, and I'm going to say something else. Charlie swears by the Excalibur too for water hunting. And I see that Charlie's not here tonight.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Well, I wanted to bring that up. If you hadn't heard, Charlie contacted me. His mom's been rushed to the hospital. She's not doing well. And Charlie asked me to send out prayers to everybody and let everybody know so they could send out some prayers. Charlie sounded very distraught when he talked to me today.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to say any more than that because I don't know her condition, but Charlie sounded pretty worried.
Okay, everybody remember prayers for Charlie's mom and
Absolutely.
prayers for Cynthia's dad. Cynthia's dad was in a car accident.
I'm telling
you. Busted ribs, 2 broken legs, broken arm.
Oh my God.
Yeah. From what
that sounds like Jim Steele's accident.
Yeah. And he's 81. So hi Ken. How you doing? Hi Olin. Wow. Yeah, I haven't done any beach detecting, and yet I know the Vanquish is really good for beach detecting. So I want to get some in.
Yeah, I just don't know. I've never heard anybody say if it works in the wet sand or not, because I know there's a lot of mineralization in the wet sand.
Yeah, it does. It chatters more because you can't ground balance it, but it does, they say. Just got to be careful because, like you said, you can't get it wet.
Yeah, my 705, I took that to Ocean City in Maryland. I've done Clearwater Beach, but I always did above the high tide line because as soon as it got into the wet sand, my 705 chattered. But it performed fine. It actually has a beach mode for dry sand. So yeah, even before I got a waterproof detector, my 705 did fine in dry sand. Yeah. Thank you, John. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, Olin. Thank you, Plugs.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Yeah, I'm glad Gene was on tonight and we could get everybody to mention here because, you got like 20 people in here, Bill. So this way we let people know that it's not going to be Shane on. It's going to be Gene on
Thursday night. And I'm going to be doing Mark the Berg Hunter's doing Thursdays at 7 p.m. and he's going to interview me at 7.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'll try and make that. I got this big permission in a town about 40 miles from here, 45 miles from here. I know it took me an hour to drive it, and nobody could go with me last time, so I was trying to get the 2 guys together so we could all do it. She said I could bring both my friends back. Well, I contacted Troy, and him and his wife are using their new RV this week. So Dalton's got Thursday off work, so him and I are going up to this old town and doing my 1930s permission on like a 3/4 of an acre. So thank you, Greg.
That's like
Marty's going camping too. Good for you, Marty.
That's like, even if I don't move back to California soon, I want to get back there this next summer. A friend of mine called me, and he's detecting now, and he found at a campsite along a river on a hillside doing research. There was an old town there in the early 1900s, and it burned down. Something like 150, 200 people lived there. So, and he's gotten some good stuff out of there.
Good deal. Yeah, Bill, I've been comments on that Mind Lab. I think from 4 or 5 continents, I've gotten people comments on that Manicore video.
Yeah, you're up to about 3,000 views or better now, aren't you?
Yeah, I think 3,100 views.
3,100. There you go.
Oh, wait a minute.
Thank you,
Wait a
Greg.
minute. Let me hit that refresh, Bill. 34.98.
Nice, Rob. Nice.
Yeah, I actually enjoy doing that kind of investigative questioning and thing there. And obviously I had a whole bunch of people in the comments say, oh, you should have asked her this, should have asked her that. Yeah, it would have been nice to add all those questions going in.
Yeah. Oh, you did a good job, Rob. I liked it. I thought it was a good video. Guido, how you doing?
Guido!
So
A new Sunday morning regular. I actually sent 7 prize packs and sticker packs off today, Bill.
all right.
On Tuesday. Can you believe that?
Oh, I talked Craig's about a Mercury's in earlier. She got her magnets. So thank you, Rob. You gave me Pat gave me the address because she said she emailed me, but it went to the wrong place, I guess. My question,
Yeah, Marty.
the only one I have to ask about.
And the number one question with that Manicore, Marty, is it gonna leak or not?
Yeah. At twice the price of the 800, it shouldn't. Well, the 800
Yeah, it
shouldn't
should.
either.
Yeah, well, I was going to say something, but that would be impolite. But it should walk itself down the beach for $1,600.
And dig the target for you.
Yeah, and dig the target too. What's your question, Miss Mercury?
Yeah, what's your question?
Yeah, plugs. Unless somebody absolutely does not like that Manicore, I don't see you getting one used in the first few months, maybe 6 months, unless somebody absolutely hates it. Like mainly Dirtfish and Rob. I think he's going to auction off his Legend, Bill, because he doesn't like the Legend.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, mainly Rob Dirtfishing. He says he just didn't get into the Legend.
Oh wow.
And to be honest with you, if I was going to keep having leak problems with the Equinox before I went to the Manicore, I had not heard any leaking problems with the Legend. I would probably try and get a Legend since it's priced a little under the Equinox for another water machine before I went.
Well, if you go through the right person, Mark de Berghard, somebody else said they got the Pro Pack from the 100 GT for $640, which is what everybody else was selling just the standard Legend for.
Greg says he loves his.
Yeah.
I would try it. I know that control pod, that control panel looks like it's built very sturdy. Mercury says, I put in your comments about the 50% power, the buzzword there. And Miss Mercury, I had somebody correct me, somebody from, I think, England. I put in there that it's got 50% more power to the coil, and I was corrected there. The control pod, the way they have it set up, is giving more power than the Knox had. And what that's for is they're running a lot more programs off there. The Knox goes from -9 to 40. She said when I interviewed her that the Manicore VDI spectrum is going to be 0 or 1 to 99. So you're going to have 99 numbers as opposed to the Knox having 49 numbers. And they said for the mid-range targets, by spreading those numbers up to 99, you're going to get a lot more distinction, a lot more separation between those mid-range numbers, like to tell the difference between a nickel and a pull tab and a gold ring, which I think is a good thing, because that is an area. Like I dug a solid 13 on the beach today, and it was a nickel, and that's what it should be. But if you get a 13, 14, 15 bouncing, it's probably going to be a pull tab, but it could be a nickel. So if they get a little better separation there in that mid-range on the Manicore, that's great. So I made the mistake of saying there was 50% more power to the coil, and I was corrected in that. It's in the control pod. They have a flashlight that's got 3 different brightnesses. Apparently their screen has 8 different lighting settings, and then the the blackened part of the screen, that's your rubber push button part. Apparently they have a backlight coming up through that, so you can kind of see the blacklit screen too at night. They kind of have a glow up through it. So all those lights run on some of the extra power that the Manicore has. So I was corrected. There's not 50% more power to the coil, but yet she would not tell me coil depths. They do say it's going to be deeper than the Equinox, but they will not give you exact depth numbers because she says MineLab does not issue or put out depth numbers.
No, I've noticed that like on my Technetics, because it has a 0 to 99 range, that when you get in that nickel pull tab range, it separates it better than the Vanquish does, a lot better. So,
oh, wait a minute, I missed this up here. Hold on, I missed one comment up top. My plan is a new Manicore just to see what I've missed at the fairgrounds the last 5 years of my AT Pro. That's a good point, Marty. That's I'm just that. I don't know how to say it, Marty, but yeah, I think that's a great idea. That's, is the Equinox that much better than the AT Pro that you're going to find a lot of stuff that you miss with the AT Pro? Maybe a little bit, but if the Manicore, yeah, and you go back to your fairgrounds that have been so good to you, Marty, with some of them videos, wow. And you can start, finding more stuff out of the fairgrounds for maybe the next 6 months or a year. Yeah, I mean, if you find another 10 or 20 silvers with that thing and some old Indians and relics, there you go, Marty. Plugs. All I want is a machine that goes 20 inches deep and have 10 to 20 tones. That's all. And Greg says, keep hoping.
that's like one of these days.
Greg said we got on a new site.
I'll have to dig up the chart. I had a Discovery 3300 metal detector, and its VDI never went 0 to 199.
Holy smokes.
And a chart came with it telling you exactly what each number range was for. And it was pretty accurate on that. It wasn't a very deep machine, but it would separate pull tabs and bottle caps from nickels easily.
That's exactly what I thought. I don't need a machine that goes 12 inches down to find a relic because we don't have 12 inches. The only thing I'm digging up here on 19 teens and 1920s and 30s houses down here that go 12 to 14 inches deep, I hit the original. It'll give me a sound, just a localized sound, because I guess it just finds a heavier spot. But I'll dig down, and it'll be 14, 16 inches. It'll be the original cast iron pipe, water pipe coming out of the house to the street. And yet I go a foot above it. The pipe's there, but I don't get a signal. So somehow it just picks up one spot on the pipe. But I mean, in Florida, if you're digging 14 inches, it's not going to be for something positive.
Yeah.
So I don't need a machine like Pat's Tarsace that goes 18 inches. I don't. Not here in Florida. Maybe if I went over to England, or if I was up there in New England with the guys doing, 400-year-old sites in the 1600s or 1700s, maybe there is stuff deeper. I know Jeremy just popped in this chat here and said, hi. Darren with Carolina says, hey, Rob, FL Thunder. Hey, buddy. Jeremy came to the beach with the CTX guys. I hunted with him one time. First off, when he handed it to me, I almost dropped it. It was so freaking heavy. And yet he wields that thing around like it's a badminton. And there were a few deep bottle caps that he heard that I couldn't hear with the Knox. But yet when we checked on them, they were all trash signals, Bill. So He says his laptop came in yesterday. I got your picture. When is Dennis getting there, Jeremy?
Tomorrow morning, according to Dennis. He was in here earlier. Or something.
Okay, well, I'll try and get his coin out tomorrow. If I don't get it out tomorrow, Jeremy, you could do your giveaway with that coin the next week.
But
we had a good half hour pouring rain. It doesn't even look like it rained.
No, it's like the only time I've ever seen a CTX 3030 was back home. And I was using the Vanquish. Another guy was using an Equinox. We were in the same park, and a guy showed up with a 3030. And the Equinox missed it, and I missed it. This guy's going along the baseball fence line, and he hit a dime at about 12 or 13 inches. Now, in California mineralized soil, that's pretty good. And he got down, and it was a Merc. Would have been, if I would have had a better machine, would have been my thing. Because, like I said, that's my white whales. I've never found a Mercury.
Really, Bill?
I've never found a Mercury. That's my white whale. like I said, I got boxes of silver rosies. Everybody tells me, oh, the silver rosies are harder to find because they made the Mercs longer.
They are statistically, you're more than likely to find a Merc.
I've found probably 50 or 60 silver rosies ever since I've been checking, and never a Merc.
Isn't that something, Bill? You just never know.
Yeah. So.
Well, I've been to Missouri twice. I went in October, and on that courthouse lawn, I got 4 barbers off that courthouse lawn. Maybe my best. I'll never ever duplicate another day with 4 barber silver dimes in one day. And they were all within 10 feet of each other. And then one of them turned out to be an 1899, which is my first 1800 silver ever. I had to go all the way to Missouri for it. And then, Bill, I went back to Missouri in June with Shane. And then after Shane left, I stayed with my sister for another week. Went back to that town that Shane and I were in that has nothing but 8, 10-foot, 12-foot curb strips. I got more silver. I got more Indians. I got more relics. And then I drive home, and I'm home less than 2 weeks, and I'm doing a little town 8 minutes from Denise's house, and I find my oldest silver coin.
Yeah.
So explain that to me.
Yeah. No, like one thing I do like about the Vanquish or the Equinox, hi NorCal, is back home at the old park, they were redoing some stuff, and I was down. They had this aluminum awning next to the swimming pool, but it was on big steel girders. And I'm swinging by the steel girder, and I got a 13. No matter how I moved it, I got a 13. And I mean, through all that noise from the girder, I dig up, and there was a 1958 nickel that people had missed and it was black as black could be. Had been down there so long. So it was only about 4 inches, but I thought, I know I've seen other guys with detectors swinging around here. How they missed it, I don't know.
Wow, Greg, that's a hell of a ratio, 20-1 Merc over Rosies. I would say I want to say 3-1, but I'm not even sure if it's that much. It may be just 2-1 here. I mean, I may just find out of every 3 silvers, 2 of them may be Mercs, but I went to my club meeting with 11 silvers 2 months ago. And I want to say it was probably like 5-4 or 6-3 Mercs, so it wasn't even a 2-1.
Yeah. Well, I know it's like that Merc that guy found that day. I was there and I missed it. That was like the only third. That was the third Merc I'd ever heard being even dug in my town. So,
hey, NorCal, welcome, NorCal Digger.
Like barber quarters.
Wow, Jim.
Nice.
Greg says it's finally starting to cool down in SoCal. It's starting to cool down here a little bit, guys. The temperature is still either in the high 80s or low 90s, but our humidity is finally broken. So
I need coffee.
And I was in about 2.5, 3 feet of water today, and the water was chilly when you first got in. But boy, did that feel great on my bad knee. When Bill comes back from his coffee run, I'm going to go get some of my coffee myself.
It ain't gonna be no run walk, Rod.
Yeah, you're exactly right, John CZ Kid. Deep holes with a lot of digging will wear your ass out in a day. You know, and I've got that hint video on, guys, where if you swing over a 26-27, which is a dime or a silver dime, and it gives you a nice loud signal, and you pick your detector 6-7 inches off the ground, and that signal sounds just as strong, guys. That is not a dime; it's a can. Okay, if you get a nice steady dime signal, and you bring it up 3 inches, 4 inches, and that dime signal disappears, then you have a coin. Okay, and the best ones is those really, really, really little quiet 26-27s, because those are a nice, deep, quiet dime signal, and you got a better chance of that being silver. Finally, in the 60s to 80s here, we had a hot summer here in Oklahoma City with no rain. Wow. We didn't get as much from the hurricane, but we still got up here. I think we still got 3-4 inches. I know this. I drained Denise's pool 6 inches, and the hurricane did not fill it back up to where it was. It filled it up, but not quite to the level I had emptied. So we got less than 6 inches of rain here out of that. We had a hot, muggy, humid, rainy summer.
Oh, got my coffee.
That's true, Jeremy.
Tom,
Is
how you
Mercury,
doing?
is it true over there in England or Great Britain that a lot of people don't have air conditioning in their homes? Hello, Latchkey Gen Xer. Thank you. That's learned from a lot of cans. Okay.
Easy, buddy. Easy, good big boy.
Yep, exactly right, John. If it shows, if the sound is loud but it shows deep, it's a can of junk. Yeah. If you got a loud dime signal that says it's 3 inches and you dig a 5-inch hole and that dime's not there, that's because it's that big ass can sitting below that.
My right hip, Jim.
Very few people have AC in the UK. Thank you, Super Freak. Seems in my parks, it's me and the homeless people. So sad the parks are for families to go to relax, not homeless to shit and piss. Yeah, plugs. I have to admit, here in Florida, that's not as big as a problem as it is in some places. Thank goodness. I don't know if it's because we have almost enough social services to handle the people or what, but most of the time or most of the parks we have, they're not camping out in.
Yeah, because they've all gone to California where they can get free everything. And living here now for almost 2 years, I've met about 20 people that have moved from Riverside, California to here. And they all said the same thing. They got tired of the homeless taking over their neighborhoods. They sold out and left California.
I heard somebody today talking about that, Bill.
Oh. And
Those
it's true,
masks, those cans can mask other good signals, though. You are right, NorCal. So
they can't even ask them to leave. If they're sitting on their doorstep in front of your business, they can't even ask them to move now or leave.
why?
It's law in California. You can't bother them.
Somebody told me out there that you can rent your shed in the backyard to them, and you can't force the neighbors can't force them to leave.
Nope.
Yeah, NorCal says it's bad here. I'll tell you guys, I was on that. I have that Nextdoor app on my iPad. I don't use it much, but every now and then I see comments, and I saw this one guy's comment. I saw this one guy's comment going, I don't tell anybody to move to Florida. I wouldn't live in Florida. And I was like, you should, look at this hurt. And I'm like, yeah, we just had a really bad Category 4 hurricane, but that was a rare thing for us, and it was rare hitting this side of the Gulf side of Florida, and we had 7 to 10 days to prepare for that. Okay. And yet you get a tornado like my sister gets out in the Midwest, you might get 5 minutes siren time. Okay. California, you've got wildfires, just seem like they're all over the place. You have droughts that light everything on fire. And then when the rainstorms come in, it's just not a regular rain. It's such a rain deluge that comes in that it loosens up the ground that has no trees on it from the fires. And then I'm watching videos in California of rivers of mud just going down streets, moving cars, garbage cans. Just, I've lived in Florida 49 years, and we've never had a river of mud anywhere.
Mr. Lyman, Mike Mellyman's here.
Mikey here.
Yeah, NorCal's right. They kiss the homeless' ass in California. I mean, they allow them to take it. They can drop in San Francisco. They can drop their pants and take a dump on the sidewalk.
Well, I hope that turns back around.
I remember before I moved out here, some friends of mine came up and they go, "We want to go see Chinatown in San Francisco." I said, "No, you don't. You don't want to see the wharf either. Not anymore."
Yeah, that was one of the first places we went to on vacation in San Francisco 20 years ago was the wharf.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to go there now.
All right, Ken, we do have sinkholes. And I could say until a couple of years ago that we've only had sinkholes on open land or properties that it's smart and small and people could leave. But we did have a sinkhole maybe like 3-4 years ago, open up right below a guy's house, and he was sleeping in his bed and he got sucked down to the sinkhole. And yes, that's a horrible way to die. And yet that guy was the very first fatality ever in the state of Florida from a sinkhole.
We had one back home. Nobody got hurt, but it couldn't happen to a nicer outfit. There was this used car lot. There were a bunch of crooks, and they got a bunch of cars in, and half of the parking lot that sunk in. So all the new cars they got in. They lost like 40 cars.
I'll tell you, if you're a car lover and you're a Corvette lover, if you want to watch a video that will just flat out make you cry, watch the Corvette Museum. That sink will open up over under the Corvette Museum, and watch all those priceless Corvettes just get sucked right down 30, 40 feet into that cavity.
Yeah, I saw that. San Francisco's it is now. NorCal never used to be. It used to be a nice, clean city. Used to love to go there.
Yeah, San Francisco. When I was there 25 years ago on vacation, we did all the touristy stuff. We did Lombard Street. We went down to the wharf. We went to Giardardi's Chocolate. We walked on those houses that you see, those beautiful houses that were on Full House down that street that's real curved. We went out to Alcatraz. We went over the Golden Gate Bridge up the Pacific Coast Highway. We had a phenomenal vacation in San Francisco.
Yeah, I used to love good. I loved going to Frisco to go to Chinatown because I really loved it down there. I mean, a lot of them places.
Yeah, man, I don't think that was here in Florida, was it? Because I don't think we have salt mines in Florida. Mr. Park Rat Pat himself is here.
Because you ever seen Big Trouble in Little China?
Yeah, with Kurt Russell.
Yeah. They were in the back room of that restaurant gambling. They actually do that in Chinatown in Frisco.
I wouldn't doubt that at all, Bill.
Now, I'm going to ask you a question, Rob. That's one of my favorite movies. And they took a survey the other day. They want to remake that with Dwayne Johnson as the lead in it. Everybody said a resounding no, do not remake that movie.
There are a lot of movies that they have made and they should not have made or redone.
And I think Big Trouble in Little China is one of them.
I mean, I like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I think he's a fun actor. I think he's hilarious. I love him in action comedy movies. But that's like they're wanting to redo Roadhouse. How the fuck can you redo Roadhouse? Roadhouse is a flippin' cult classic.
Yep. Patrick Swayze.
Who are you going to get to do that was as cool as Patrick Swayze and Sam Elliott in that movie? You're not going to find a pair like those two anywhere.
No, you're not.
Oh, calling it a night at a Walmart in Georgia. Okay, Pat.
Okay, Pat. Take it easy, brother.
The salt mine sinkhole was due to them drilling into the mine from the lake. Yes.
But
that's right. I remember that story.
Hey, Plugs has a good idea. Shanghai the homeless.
You know what? It's funny, Bill. I'm on one side of the political spectrum, and my best friend's on the other side, and yet we get along great, and we can talk things out. And when we take our guys trip up to Bowling Green to the NHRA races every year, we sit there and we try and solve all the world's problems from both of our sides, and yet I can sit here and tell you I don't have a solution to the homeless problem.
Well, I got a good friend, who was homeless, and he got himself out of it. And when they ask him, well, you were homeless, don't you think we should help the homeless people? He goes, hell no. He goes, 90% of them, they'll just keep sucking you dry. He goes, they don't want to have a home. They don't want to have a job. They want you to give them everything. He goes, that's 90. He goes, there's that 10% that want to do better and get out of where they're at. The rest of them just want to keep draining you dry and piss on your lawn.
And see, Pat's got a very valid point here. They do remakes because no one has original ideas. And that's the same why they're redoing TV shows. I've been told that the new Magnum's not that bad, Magnum PI. I can't watch it. I am not. How could you have anybody in that lead but Tom Selleck?
Yeah. No, I tried watching it. It's just not that good.
Plugs, I'd rather put them in boats to Russia, not Ukraine. Unless they want to fight for Ukraine.
Yeah, send them to China so they can make happy.
Jeremy says they're getting Conor McGregor, the UFC fighter, to play the part. Please tell me you're kidding there, Jeremy. Please tell me you're kidding.
Wait, who, what now?
If they're getting Conor McGregor to play the part of Kurt Russell, I hope he's joking.
It's gotta be. They canceled the new Magnum. Well, that's good.
Now, NorCal says they Gone in 67 should have not been made. See, and I'm going to sorry, NorCal, I got to tell you this. I like the Gone in 60 Seconds remake with Nicolas Cage. A lot of people don't like Nicolas Cage. I'm a big Nicolas Cage fan, and of course, I could look at Angelina Jolie. You asked Denise. Angelina Jolie is one of my 3 older hottie babes. Yeah, Angelina Jolie does it for me.
Yeah. No, I like this Gone in 60 Seconds, but a lot of the newer Nicolas Cage movies are just rushed.
Well, yeah, because he's doing a lot of direct-to-video now, and they don't have the budget or, like you said, Bill, the time to do.
Well, you know why he's doing that? He doesn't handle his money very well.
No, yeah, you're right. There was a time he was supposedly had a gambling problem, and he was out of money.
Yeah. So.
Stop feeding the pigeons.
Yeah, I saw that. That's the other way around. The pigeons are feeding the homeless.
Super Freak says, all I watch is black and white movies, 30s to 50s. Let me tell you, they're coming back in popularity, Super Freak. No. Jeremy says he wished he was joking. Conor McGregor on road. I'm gonna freaking Google that right now.
I always loved the Charlie Chan movie.
Because if it is, I will tell you guys right now, if it is, it's emoji bullshit.
Jim's still right. We can't even get real news, let alone good TV shows. Westerns, I'm with you, crazy. Love Westerns. Ain't nothing better than a John Wayne Western. Well, okay.
Absolutely.
That or God, I can see his face now. I can't think of his name. But doggone it. Lee Van Cleef. Or Van Cleef. I loved his in the Westerns. Good night, Pat. Thanks for stopping by, brother. I'm with you, Paystreak. I prefer black and white movies over any of this new stuff. Good old Westerns. Charlie Chan movies, any of that kind of stuff. Film noir. Boris Karloff. Right, Tony? That's good enough. Peter Lorre. Vincent Price. I love Vincent Price movies. YouTube, Detective Barbecue. Well, plugs, there's all kinds of great old movies on you, a lot better movies on YouTube than most other channels. So.
Well, Jeremy's exactly right. It's going to be a new Roadhouse movie where he plays a bouncer in a bar in the Florida Keys. It's going to be he's going to be in it with Jake Gyllenhaal, who I like, and it's not going to be based on the first movie. It's not going to be like a spinoff or they're not remaking. It's just going to be like a separate independent movie, and it's coming out direct to video on Prime Video.
But
if that tells you anything,
that means it's a pile of crap. More than likely. Yeah, Three Stooges, Greg. They're great. Laurel and Hardy, Abbott and Costello.
Yeah, I agree with Crazy About a Mercury. Oh hell no, I'll never be a Patrick Swayze.
Nope.
NorCal says the original was filmed where I grew up. And there's just so many great lines and action scenes in Roadhouse.
Yeah.
We can't even get real news, let alone good TV shows. Oh yeah, real car wrecks. You got to have real car wrecks. I watched a TV show or something episode the other day, and they did a car explosion, and it was a CGI explosion around the car, and the car was still there. You could just see the CGI explosion. And I was like, folks, if you can't blow up a real car, that's, it's like if you watch a war movie and a ship gets blown up with a CGI explosion. Oh my God, it's so fake looking.
I'd rather watch Godzilla movies where they blow up toy tanks and stuff than CGI.
Oh, now I did see a commercial when I was getting ready to go to trivia tonight, Bill, on the Epix channel, EPIX, which we don't have, but I told Denise I'll pay the $5 or $6 a month for this one. They are coming out with a show for the first season on the formation and the beginnings of the British SAS down in Tunisia in Africa against Rommel's tanks divisions. And
That'll be worth
it's
it.
going to be an action comedy. I saw some clips of it. It looks absolutely hilarious. And their tagline is, most of what you see here actually happened. It sounds like it's going to be freaking hilarious with a lot of good World War II action in it.
Okay, that's worth paying, like you said, the $5 or $6 for.
Yes. On the origins of the SAS. That just looks awesome.
Thanks for the heads up, Rod. That means I'm going to be getting epics.
I YouTube and detect and barbecue. That's the life. And while I work also. Plugs. I edit videos. I'm watching YouTube videos. I metal detect. And every now and then I have to do some honeydews for Denise. Oh, yeah. Can't go wrong with the Dirty Harry movies. Can't go wrong with the Three Stooges.
Most Clint Eastwood movies you can't go wrong with. He's had a few stinkers along the
Super
way.
Freak. I actually don't know who Margaret Lockwood was, but yeah, Rita Hayworth was. She was definitely a poster you could hold up with one hand. That's for sure. Plug says sounds retarded to me.
Robert Mitchum, I like
McHale's Navy.
Ernest Borgnine and Jim Conway. Yep.
I played with railroad explosives. You could make a car look like it blew up and not hurt it.
God,
How many times did I blow up my GI Joes with firecrackers?
What I just watched today, The Wackiest Ship in the Army with Jack Lemmon. Great movie.
Trailer Park Boys is a pretty funny TV show. I've heard of that one, but never actually watched that one. Mr. Greg, have a good night, sir.
Good night, Greg.
Get out. Rita Hayworth really married Orson Welles when he was the young, good-looking Orson Welles, or when he became the big, fat, older Orson Welles? Kelly's Heroes. See, every Saturday morning I watched. They came on back to back. Was Rat Patrol and Combat with Vic Morrow. I grew up watching those two with my dad. I watched all war movies with my dad. I watched Clint Eastwood and John Wayne movies, westerns with my dad. And then my mom, we were horror movies with Dr. Paul Bearer and Creature Feature and the original Star Trek shows. So my mom was the sci-fi person. And then obviously my dad was the action guy movie. So I grew up with both of those. They should never, ever been able to remake any of his movies, Dirty Dancing, Roadhouse, or Ghost. Tell you another badass movie with Patrick Swayze. Next to Ken. I just saw a clip from Next to Ken the other day, and yes, he was a badass in Next to Ken. And I'll tell you guys another thing too. I like Jeremy just said here, Dirty Dancing. I think Dirty Dancing is the most sensual, sexual PG-13 or PG movie ever made. I think Dirty Dancing. For a PG movie, I think it's a pretty erotic movie. I fell hard for Jennifer Grey in that movie. She just looked delectable in that movie. But yes, they should not remake Dirty Dancing. And then obviously when they made Dirty Dancing 2, that was an absolute total flop. The gods must be crazy. What's funny about that, Plugs, is I had a video store for 13 years, Plugs, and that movie was out of print. You couldn't get it on VHS or DVD. And if I found one in a secondhand store, I could get between $70 and $100 for that movie because you couldn't buy it. Nobody bought the rights to it, and it stayed out of print for years. Rita Hayworth had child Rebecca with Orson Welles. Man, Super Freak, I thought I knew a lot about movies and actors. Miss Mercury, I can understand that, ma'am. That's a very, very sensual movie. And the dancing in that movie is just freaking incredible. I mean, Patrick Swayze, from a guy's point of view, he's a real guy's guy. He's a real man's guy. But I mean, he's a good-looking, well-built, sexy guy. I mean, I can't dance for a shit, but I know women that like the guy that can dance. You betcha, Jim Steele. We'll just leave that right there on the screen, and I'm not going to repeat that word, but yes, she did. Had the Mattel Tommy gun in camo straight off combat. Doug, I had a Tommy gun too growing up. The big one that shot the plastic bullets and had the little red grenade launcher thing at the end. Had my combat Army Man helmet, my little web belt with my fake 45 strap. Oh my God, we played Army Men so much in the neighborhood. Coke bottles falling from the sky. That's right. That was Gods Must Be Crazy. And they made a number 2 also. Yes, Jeremy, absolutely. Pretty Woman is just another. I mean, Julia Roberts. I'll use Jim Steele's word here. Julia Roberts looked edible in that movie. I'm telling you, the scene where she sits with just the tie on, with her legs crossed at the dining table when he walks in, and he says, "Nice tie." Yeah, that's just a sexy ass scene. NorCal. I can't disagree with you, buddy. 10 was the worst movie that I watched hundreds of times. I can't argue with you, buddy. Bo Derek, hey guys, in the 70s, I had a Farrah Fawcett in that red one piece growing up in my bedroom. Absolutely. Oh, Doug's got both of them. Both the Gods Must Be Crazy. Guys, I've watched 2001 Space Odyssey dozens of times, and I still think that whole intro with the monolith and the monkey or the ape or whatever it is there in the beginning, I still think is bizarro. Of course, that whole movie is way out there. Sometimes I think Stanley Kubrick was a little bit ahead of his time. Guys, don't say anything to Bill, but he's got a woman in his room. Yeah, you just heard Muttley, Ken. Yep, Miss Mercury's agreeing with you, Jeremy. Yep, that was plugs. I actually had a video sales store at a big, huge local flea market, tourist market that Denise and I had for 13 years. I did that on the weekends, and then I worked at Disney during the week. And if I had to work on Disney on the day that I had the flea market, Denise would come down and she would work the second half of the day at the flea market and then lock up my store while I was on the way to go work at Disney. Yeah, Jim, I used to think Daisy Duke was hot till I saw what she looks like now. Well, if you guys want to, well, there's women in the thing here, and how should I say this polite? We rented Top Gun Maverick the other day. Denise and I've been telling Denise how good it was, and her dad doesn't come out and do a lot for this out of his room. So she's like, "Dad, you want to watch the new Top Gun movie?" He's like, "Yeah." So he came out, and we paid the $5.99 or $6.99 it was on. I can't remember if it was Netflix or Prime Video, but we sat here and we turned on the Bose surround sound system and cranked it up, and we watched the new Maverick movie, and he saw the first scene with Maverick's love, Penny Benjamin, and Mike goes, is that the same woman from the first movie? And I said, no, it is not, Mike. They did not invite her back for the second movie, and there is good reason they did not invite her back from the second movie. She looks a lot different in the 30 years from that movie. Whereas I think Tom Cruise looks just about damn as good from 30 to 60. This woman didn't look as good from 35 to 65. Bo's real name is Mary Collins. She lived a few blocks away from me growing up. I never met her, but I had a girlfriend that was her friend. Well, that's cool. But yeah, plugs. I did real well at the market. I could have. This was back in the 90s, early mid 90s. I could have some weekends where I came home with $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 in my pocket cash. I mean, when the world went from VHS to DVDs, oh my God, was that a great time. All right, where's my video at? Okay, here we go. Here is Kelly McGillis in the original Top Gun. There is Kelly McGillis now, right there. These two, that's her, and that's her. So you can see why they wouldn't bring her back as Tom Cruise's love interest. So I'm just saying. Didn't work out. Said, yikes. Oh, Jim, I've got a few. I've still got a few sealed Disney VHSs. I had 7 at one time, but I still have one Little Mermaid VHS sealed with the penis cover. Or should I say the phallics cover? If he says I don't see a difference. Oh, you guys crack me up as much as you crack me up on Sunday mornings. You guys crack me up here. See, guys, I can be loud tonight because Denise isn't sleeping. She's picking up. She's doing a concierge job tonight. She's picking up a client at the airport tonight. So she's at Tampa Airport right now. Pippa, what are you doing? Hi, Pippa girl.
What's going on, Rob? Hi, Mike.
Everything okay, Bill?
Oh yeah, everything's fine. So
I even have all of Creedence's albums. Wow, Creedence Clearwater Revival. I love listening to Creedence Clearwater Revival. There are a couple of women that look exactly the same, if not better, than they did 35 years ago. Jennifer Aniston. Yeah, there are two women that refuse to age. Come here, buddy. Come here, hon. Come here. I don't want to hurt you, okay? This is Pippa, guys. This is Miss Pippa. She's actually been in one of my videos. Pippa the Killer Lizard Chaser. That's you. I know. How you doing, hon? I know, honey. I know Mommy's gone. I know you don't like it when Mommy leaves. She's the food lady. Jennifer Aniston and J-Lo are two women that look almost exactly the same as they did 20, 25, 30 years ago, just as Jeremy's saying. I really wonder if there's going to be one day where they wake up and it just all falls apart and 20 years catch up to them one day. But I don't know. Those two just look phenomenal. And I can't agree with Jeremy more, especially Jennifer Aniston. Denise knows I got the hots for Jennifer Aniston. She also knows who my number one hottie is, my new number one hottie, or my number one hottie has been a hottie for years is, and some people won't agree with me on this, but is cripe. I almost forgot her name here. Hold on. I did forget her name. Oh, Scarlett Johansson. I'm sorry, but She does it for me in the Avengers movies. Mr. Gary's metal detecting. Hello, Mr. Gary. Getting up in 4 hours to go beach hunting. Well, you have a good night, sir. Oh, Gal Gadot. Absolutely.
Hi,
Marty.
Gary. Thanks, Gary.
Got to put her on maybe the top 5 or the top 3, maybe even the top 2, Marty. Bill, I couldn't tell if you were giving me a signal or not.
Huh?
I couldn't tell if you were giving me a signal or not.
Oh, no, just we had a lot of things going on here tonight.
Okay.
Well, this week. It's just been a crazy week. I'm going to be moving. We had 6 cats that they tried to home out. They all came back.
Yeah, that could get things going. Yeah, if you look at Jennifer Aniston from Friends 25 years ago and now, it looks like she could step right back in and play the same role she did 25 years ago. Hey, look, you're on TV. You see that? You're on TV. So I'll just sit here and you could scratch me all night, Mr. Rob. Remember Pippa, Bill? The little St.
What,
Charles
Rob?
Cavalier.
Good night, Mr. President. What's that puppy's name?
This is Pippa.
Pickle.
She is a St. Charles Cavalier. I know she looks like a beagle, but she's an expensive St. Charles Cavalier. Jeremy, we had this discussion, buddy, when you were down here. As soon as you come down here and move, you can hunt that beach 365 days a year, sir. As soon as you and Tanya move down here, you don't have to kill anybody. You just got to move down here near your in-laws, sir. Amazing what cameras and makeup can do. You got that right, super freak. Did you see what Jim Steele wrote, Bill?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't
they're kind of
ever say
stringy.
that, Jim, if Denise is in the chat.
Jim,
said she looks better
They
now.
taste like chicken, and they're stringy. So. Oh man.
Pippa, you make a much better door than a window.
Well, it's like I always tell my cat when he jumps up here, he always shows his best side to everybody in the camera.
Yeah, he was up here a little while ago.
Yeah.
So we're down to one dog. Denise took Sadie back today, the big black lab that was here Sunday. So it gets a little crazy with 2 dogs and 2 cats. We did 4 dogs one time, Bill, for a week. I mean, Denise made her house payment 1 week with 4 dogs, but we would never do that again.
Rob, while this stream is going, I had 11 cats in this bedroom.
Oh my God, Bill. Now,
Like
is that your roommate or landlord that was there?
Roommate.
Okay.
But like I said, we catch the strays, get them fixed. If they're pregnant, we grab the kittens and rehome and stuff. But the outfit we've been dealing with, they've just been dropping the ball lately. And none of them have been rehomed. So, Cindy Crawford.
Oh,
Yep.
Cindy Crawford's another Babylicious.
Yep.
She was great in the Pepsi commercials.
Yep.
All right, let me let you down.
Hi, Ro. How you doing? Oh, man. Oh.
Hi, Ro.
Yep. I can tell you, Rob, I cannot. I mean, I'm going to love getting this hip fixed so I can go out and swing the detector. Man. In Cambodia, they would call you a rancher.
You
got me
guys,
a hurt-
you guys are
got me
just too
hurt
damn
cat.
funny. Oh,
Actually, that's more Vietnam than Cambodia.
yeah, you're just a
But I
rancher,
ain't no
Bill.
lie. What, Rob?
You're just a rancher, Bill.
Yep, I'm a rancher, cat rancher.
Papa Rouse, Bill,
And
cat
Margaret.
wrangler.
And Margaret is still good looking today at 80 years old.
Yeah, so is her co-star from Grumpy Old Men, Sophia Loren.
Yeah.
Yeah, Diggin, we're being a real. How do you pronounce that word? Majestic, my misogynist. Yes, we're being real misogynist here tonight. I think we lost Miss Crazy About a Mercury a while back.
Probably. Barbara Eden.
Yeah, the original Genie.
Yep.
That was a pretty sexy outfit for conservative 1960s.
Yeah. Still had to
funny,
cover her
cat
belly
house.
button though.
Bill's running a cat house. Yes, he is, Jim.
Yes, I am. Excuse me. We have a total of, let's see, wait a minute, 2.
Oh, Miss Wick, you did good. I'm glad we haven't offended you, ma'am.
We have 13 cats total. Raquel Welch.
Oh my God. Jeremy, I'm going to say your wife is not sitting next to you, sir.
Oh, God.
I was never.
Jeremy, you're one sick puppy. I like
Yeah,
that.
but it was great. Oh my God. See, I just couldn't get into Katharine Hepburn because I didn't like her voice.
Now, Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah. Oh, Audrey Hepburn was absolutely stunningly beautiful.
Yeah.
Raquel Welch.
Try to think of the girl's name. You ever see Cary Grant in Father Goose?
Yes.
Okay, the woman that played the teacher that was in charge of the girls. I can't think of her name. French actress. I got it.
Yeah, I don't know. No, Jim, that was great. That was great, Jim. I've actually never heard that phrase before.
I haven't either.
Maybe Jeremy brought it. My phrase is I'd crawl over 3 miles of broken glass just to sniff her ass. But I'm assuming that's a regular phrase.
I've heard I drink her bath water, but I never heard I got girl diarrhea.
Yeah, no, I've never heard Jeremy's phrase either.
Bridget Bardot. There's another
Bridget
one.
Bardot, Leslie Caron. Yeah, Leslie Caron just
Leslie
never
Caron,
seemed to
that's
make
the
it
one
as
that
big
was
as
in
the other ones.
Father Goose. Oh,
Bridget
who's the
Bardot.
other
Leslie
blonde
Caron.
from England that was hot for a while?
Yeah,
She's
Bridget
the
Bardot
original
was
Wicker-
one of the original blonde bombshells.
the one that's in the original Wicker Man.
You know, I've never seen the original Wicker Man.
Oh, you got to see it, Rob.
Does it have as bad as an ending as the one it does with Nicolas
Oh
Cage?
yeah, worse.
Man, I felt bad for Nicolas Cage in that movie.
I got it. And I got to look that up. I'm trying to remember her name.
Yeah, when I'd never seen the first one. And when I watched that Burning Man or Wicker Man, you got to go out. All right, Pip. Excuse me,
Yes,
guys.
it
I have a
does,
little
Jim.
doggy. I have a little doggy that wants to go out. Jim, I would say that's probably an affirmative, buddy. And it's not just that I'm an old bastard. I've been doing this since I was young too. So this is going to hurt, Pippa.
Britt Eklund.
Oh yeah, Britt Eklund. Oh
she's
yeah.
in there. She's in the original Wicker Man.
She was
What
in wasn't she in several World War II movies too?
Yeah. Boys will be boys. Yeah, we
Okay,
will.
this is gonna hurt.
All right. I miss Peter Sellers, NorCal. Really miss him. He was great. I really loved him in Doctor Strangelove or The Mouse That Roared.
Come on, Pip. Coming out. Come on. Coming. Come on, Pip. Coming.
Oh, Kate Segal,
You gotta go
Jeremy,
potty?
the redhead.
You had your shot.
Christina Applegate, that was the daughter. Yeah, he was married to Britt Eklund.
I don't know what you want. You can't have anything.
You also got to remember Christina Applegate had a double mastectomy too. I like Jamie Presley. Hmm. Yeah, My Name Is Earl. I love that. With her and oh god, what's his name? The skateboarder. Can't think of his name. I was just talking about it the other day too. Damn. The heck? I can't think of it now. I had to look that up. I hate that when I can't think of somebody's name. Jason Lee. That's what I was trying to think of. Actor, pro skateboarder. Pretty darn good, too. Not enough day for me plugs. I haven't worked in 8 years. 8 years. Barbara Hale, Della Street. Yeah. Yeah. How about Mary Ann from Gilligan's Island? How many cats do I have, Jeremy? Well, there's 7 that are here all the time, and 6 we're putting up for that. We got 13 right now. Okay, guys, remember Petticoat Junction, all the girls, the daughters there, the 3 daughters? Yep, Dawn Wells. Yep. Except you spell it like a guy's name. It'd be Dawn.
No, nobody's going out tonight.
I gotta go out, Rob.
Do what? Got to get these hips done.
Gilligan's Island, Dawn Wells.
Dawn Wells, Marianne over Ginger any day.
Any day. Now, Petticoat Junction, the 3 daughters. Remember them?
Well, I'm gonna aid you here, Bill. That one was just a little bit before my time. I was not a Petticoat Junction guy.
Oh, you missed out. They had 3 gorgeous daughters.
Oh, I know they did. I just
Tina Louise, yeah.
Barbara Hale and Perry Mason was. Oh yeah, Barbara Hale and Perry Mason. I could see that.
Tina Louise was the only one that wasn't in the remake or the final because she wanted more than every other actor put together to do it. And she wasn't even working. Ellie Mae. Yep.
Ellie Mae. Barbara Stanwyck on Big Valley. There's a there's an older woman. Well, the 2 women on Dynasty.
Miss Kitty from Gunsmoke.
Yeah, there you go. The longest running primetime show of any show on TV.
Yep. No, they only changed 1. So 2 out of the 3 daughters were there for all seasons, Marty, but one, not the youngest, the middle one that kept changing. Don't know why.
I don't know who Donna Douglas is. I'm going to have to look up Donna Douglas.
That's Ellie Mae.
Oh, okay. Never knew her real name.
Yeah, Donna Douglas. She's an animal activist.
I'll tell you who I thought was very pretty was the girl that wasn't weird on the Munsters, the daughter that wasn't weird, or the cousin.
Okay, which one? First season there was one. At the end of that, another girl took over, and that nobody knew it because they looked so much alike.
Well, you just got me on that one, Bill. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, Barbara Eden, absolutely. Elizabeth on the Virginian. Yep.
Yeah, the first season, the girl, she didn't even want to do it. She didn't think the show was going to make it. Then when it was renewed, she opted out because she was getting married and going back to college and stuff.
All right. The first season was Beverly Owen.
And they just put out on Netflix a new Munsters made by Rob Zombie.
Yeah, I saw that too. I didn't want to look at that. Okay, you're right, Bill.
Yeah.
Beverly Owen was an American television actress best known for having played the original role of Marilyn Munster on the sitcom The Munsters before the role was taken over by Pat Priest.
Yeah.
So let's see how much she looks like her.
Well, when they were dressed for the show, they looked quite a bit alike. I don't think they looked that much alike off the show, but the way they had them dressed and the hairstyle, they looked a lot alike. I'll look that up, Marty, but I'm pretty sure it was only the one girl that changed all the time.
See, guys, you come to the stream, you learn things. Oh, wow. She did look like the other one.
Yeah. That's why a lot of people never even realized that it was a different woman.
She's 86 now.
Wow.
Oh, she was in Mannix episode. She was in the Mission Impossible's TV show. She was in the original Airport movie. Oh, she comes back in the Rob Zombie movie.
Okay, Marty, Kathy Joe. There was Kathy Joe. She was on all seasons. And two of the other ones, there was 3 Billy Joes and 2 Bobby Joes. So
He was right.
5 or 6 years. Close would make love to a knothole. Yeah, Lori Sanders was hot, Marty.
You guys were so bad tonight.
Let's try it with a bee's nest inside for more fun. Oh, the heck with that. Make it fire ants.
NorCal says you don't think he has? Yeah, when I was probably my 20s and 30s, 20, 30 and 40 years ago, it was my older babyliciouses were hang on. Jamie Lee Curtis. And Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, man, she was smoking hot in that. And she was smoking hot in True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yep, she was.
And I also had a thing for what's her name from Bull Durham?
Oh God, I know who you're talking about.
She was also in. No, never mind. She wasn't in that. But yeah, the one that played in Bull Durham. She was actually married to Tim Robbins.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. But you talking about plugs doing this and that. Years ago, I went to work one Monday morning, opened up. A guy I worked with come walking in, and he looked green all around the gills. And he was walking funny. Well, him and his girlfriend had gone out Saturday night partying, and they decided to get frisky when they got home. Well, he turned the lights out, and on the stand next to the bed, there were 2 tubes. One was KY jelly, one was Ben Gay. He lubed up with the wrong one.
Yeah. Never leave those too close to each other.
I couldn't believe that. I looked at it. Jesus, man.
But yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis and oh my God, I can't believe
Debbie Dunning, Marty. That was Pam Anderson, the Tool Time Girls. Debbie Dunning.
Susan Sarandon. Yeah, Bull Durham was a funny movie. Kevin Costner is one of my favorite actors.
Yeah.
I'm telling you something. That show, Yellowstone, Bill, every show of that is just flipping exciting.
Yep. Have you watched the prequel to yet? 1883?
No, we have not done that yet, but we want to because I'm a huge Huge Sam Elliott guy.
Yeah, you'll love it.
Everybody says that. Now, Pastry, no, Carol Lombard didn't do it for me.
No.
I don't know if it was her voice or the goofy kind of role she played.
I'm trying to think of the actress from the 40s that I liked who also was an inventor.
Stickman's here. Good evening, Stickman.
Nice thing, man. In fact, she helped. Oh God, what was it? Not Carol Lombard, not Rita Hayworth, Hedy Lamarr.
Oh, Hedy Lamarr, yes.
Not only good looking, but she held a couple of patents they used during World War II that helped the war effort.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, she was an inventor, scientist.
Look at that. Marty was right there with you, Bill. Hedy Lamarr, Bernie's Marty said.
Yep.
See, Paystreak, I'm not attracted to spaz. I want less drama. Less drama in my life, the better. Tom Riley, the twins on BJ and the Bear.
Yep.
Tom, how you guys doing down there? You getting anything done? Paystreak says she had plenty of patents, Bill.
Yeah. Oh, let me see. I gotta look that up real quick. I know a couple of them were real important though for the war effort.
You know, I didn't watch probably till I was in my 30s. I had never seen Casablanca. And
Great movie.
The minute that movie was over, I put it in my top 10 of all-time movies all time. That was a superb movie, Casablanca.
Okay.
But yet I watched Bogart and Hepburn do the African Queen, and I didn't like the African Queen half as much as Casablanca.
Okay, Rob, people, Hedy Lamarr invented frequency hopping on radios during World War II. So
Yeah, that's what Marty was saying. Early Bluetooth type technology.
Yeah. So we could keep one step ahead of the Germans. That was just one of the things. She helped develop Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and a great actress.
Congratulations, Stickman. Good for you, buddy.
Nice.
Jim, I don't see Sally Fields wasn't, but I have to admit she was pretty cute in Smokey and the Bandit. See, over Sally Field, it would take a young Goldie Hawn on Laugh-In. She was one of the girls who would pop out the flower things in the wall, Bill.
Yeah.
One of the go-go dancers. Olivia Newton-John. Wow, Jeremy, you come up with some good names tonight. Yeah, Olivia Newton-John just kind of reminded you of the girl next door. She was kind of your Jennifer Aniston or your Dawn Wells.
Yeah.
Plug says, I invented the spaghetti sandwich.
No, you didn't, Plug.
You guys are killing me.
They invented that during World War II, believe me. The sea ration spaghetti was so bad they had to mask it with something.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. That is, I could watch it from start to end entirely again as Band of Brothers.
The what?
Band of Brothers.
Oh yeah.
One of the best TV miniseries or whatever you want to call that was just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Every single square foot of it. And I'm a huge Damian Lewis fan, and I absolutely loved him in the lead role. And the guy that played his number 2, Nix, he was just freaking hilarious in that role too.
That and the Pacific.
See, and I haven't seen all of the Pacific. I've only seen bits and pieces of it.
You need to watch that.
I know. Everybody tells me that.
There's one scene, and people freaked, and people asked me, because I've been in the service, did things like that really happen? There's two guys are talking, right? They're taking 5, and this guy's throwing pebbles, Rob. And what it is, there's this body sitting there with the head missing from here up, and it's full of water, and the guy's throwing pebbles into this guy's head. People,
NorCal, no, don't bring up Ruth Buzzy, or I'll lose a chubby there. Magnificent Seven, the original Magnificent Seven is I've watched that at least a dozen times. That is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Yul Brynner. Yul Brynner was just him and Charlton Heston were just the men.
Yep.
Yes, co-executive produced by Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg. Plugs exactly.
Well, Tom Hanks was one that actually got that rolling.
Well, if you remember, he was the main character in Saving Ryan's
Privates.
Yeah, let me tell you something, Bill. I went and saw that in the theater the first time.
You didn't hear me, did you, Rob?
I heard you. I could not rewatch that opening scene. It was too intense for me.
Yeah, a lot of people say that, but it's
on the beach there.
That's how it is.
Miss Mercury says she thought Yul Brynner, I thought, was the sexiest man on TV.
Yeah, and yet when he had hair,
says one of the best. All right, let me ask Miss Mercury this: a in his prime older Sean Connery, like from Hunt for Red October, Sean Connery. That's the guy Denise said she'd put her shoes under his bed anytime.
That's what my wife used to say. The older Sean Connery, the younger one, she didn't like, but the older one with the beard and the gray.
Oh yeah, you look at him as the captain on Hunt for Red October, man. He just looks like just Joe Stud. Yep, that's what. And here Stickman just says that. What about all the old James Bond movies? Absolutely.
Okay.
I
think I already brought this up. We were sitting here the other night talking about who played the first James Bond. And it was Barry Nelson, an American actor in 1956 on the Playhouse Theater. Played 007 James Bond.
Yeah, she says she likes the older one better than the younger one.
Yeah. And the funny thing was, Ian Fleming, who wrote the James Bond series, his books quit selling for some reason in 1956. So he sold the rights to American Playhouse, I think it was, for $1,000 to put out Casino Royale in 1950.
Yeah, see, a lot of people forget about Casino Royale.
Yeah. But see, there's 3 different Casino Royales. One of them, David Niven played.
I was just going to say, there was one with David Niven.
Yeah, that was a comedy version. Then there was a later one, but the first one, Casino Royale, was an American. I think it was American Playhouse. I could be wrong, in which it was CBS, anyways. It was an hour-long movie. Weekly, they made weekly movies for TV back then.
Grandma Kay, yes, we're still awake. I'm fighting it right now, but we're still awake.
Yeah. Ursula Andress. She looked good. She was a terrible actress.
Who cares? She was a freaking goddess.
Yeah, that's the thing. She was so hot it didn't matter.
Wasn't she one of the Bond girls in the beginning?
Yep. Second or third movie, maybe the first one I remember. It was early on. Yeah.
Absolutely, Plugs. Actually, Plugs, to be quite honest with you, I've never been married, sir. Yes. Man, Super Freak's right on it tonight. The end of the Planet of the Apes, 1968, one of the best iconic scenes in motion picture history.
Yep.
Yes. When he sees the broken Statue of Liberty on the beach and realizes he's actually back on Earth. Yes, that I was probably a young teen or maybe even preteens when I saw those movies, and those movies had a huge impact on me.
Yeah, you must be younger than us, Grandma Kelly, because these are all movies that were.
Oh, she's got to know some of these. She's only a few years younger than me. I'm 6-0, Grandma Kelly. But yes, Planet of the Apes. Again, there's Charlton Heston.
I'll be 66 in November. Yay.
Wow, Grandma Kelly says we did not get a TV until I was 9. Wow, yeah. See, and
Okay.
I thought you were mid-late 50s, Grandma Kelly, but I didn't. I stopped saying that to women a long time ago, guessing age.
NorCal Digger, Jenny Gutter. Oh, yep.
I have about 50 Bond movies. Got them from an older guy who just passed away, 50 cents each. Good deal, Stick Man. Miss Mercury, no, you're 65? I would have thought you were younger than that, ma'am.
Said November 3rd, I'll be 66. Yay. So, except for Jim Steele, he's older than me. So, I'm not the old man in the room.
Oh, Jim Steele's older. Jim Steele's older than Methuselah. Okay, so.
Well, he's 3 days older than dirt. So,
He's been around since Christ was a corporal.
yeah. Oh, but talking about Sean Connery, there's a movie on, he had a younger brother that made a few movies.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, look it up. You see his, look up Sean Connery, see his sibling, click on it. He made some really stupid Italian spy movies. They're hilarious to watch, though. They're just funnier than hell.
Oh, Roddy McDowall. Yeah, he did a lot of stuff too, Roddy McDowall. Jeremy says the Karate Kid was a huge Yeah, I was already out of high school then, Jeremy, for Karate Kid. But I will tell you this, I had just become a cop at 24, 25, right when the first Top Gun movie came out. And I'm telling you, every guy I know, especially in law enforcement, wanted to run out and join the Navy and fly a jet. Let me tell you something. If Top Gun wasn't the biggest recruiting movie for the Navy. Oh, wow. NorCal says he's still the oldest here. Stickman says, I'm 59 and these movies on DVD are older than me. Jim Steele says, what do you mean I'm 4 days older than dirt? Are you going to be over at Brewers for the weekend, Grandma Kelly? Wow, very cool, Marty.
Neil Connery.
Never heard of him, Bill.
Yeah, well, he only did a couple, 3 movies. Let's see. The
Mr.
Body
Brewer's
Stealer.
here, Mr. Jeff.
The Body
She's
Stealers.
heading. Oh, she's going to be at Brewers for the weekend. I thought she was doing like a marathon live stream with them. That's really cool, Grandma Kay. The boys have a fight in North Carolina again. Well, Jeff, is that where Pat's coming up to you too? Or is he going somewhere different? All right, Jeremy's asking me, what's the best, sexiest scene on a movie you've ever seen? And I'm assuming we're talking about mainstream movies here. Wow, that's a good question. There is a scene in the movie with Viggo Mortensen in History of Violence with his wife on the staircase, and I can't say anything more than that because we have several women in this stream. I won't say anything more than that, but that's a pretty erotic scene. Man, damn good question, Jeremy. We're all meeting up in North Carolina. Fantastic. Yeah, Stickman, he is just a young turd. Cal says, I'm circling the train. Oh, wow, they moved the Olympic Training Center to Charlotte. I didn't know that. Miss Mercury says Dirty Dancing. Wow, JP Lawns. Everybody's coming up to see me. Outstanding, Josh. Well, buddy, you were a great host, and the 3 of us had a phenomenal time, or the 4 of us had a phenomenal time up there, buddy. Guys, when we went up on our trip to North Florida, we went up to Georgia to go see Josh at JP's. Man, did he take care of us up there, guys. No, I'm sorry. I'm confusing JP's with Grassy Ass. I'm sorry. You guys are both lawns in your names. I'm sorry, JP. But that's awesome, buddy.
Oh.
I'm thinking of Josh from Grassy Ass Lawns. But JP,
Hey,
that's
Rob.
great that they're all coming up to see you.
Rob,
Go ahead, Bill.
do you have Paramount Plus channel?
Yes.
Okay, right now on that is playing Neil Connery, Operation Kid Brother. It's a
Okay.
movie.
Operation Kid Brother.
Yeah, check that out. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Chevy Chase where he goes swimming in the pool, and isn't that Cindy Crawford in the the vacation movie? Isn't that the one who he's chasing in the car, Bill?
Yes, that's Cindy Crawford.
Christy Brinkley. I'm sorry. Yes, Christy Brinkley. Thank you, Plugs. See, now I'm going to have to look up Raquel
Well, thank
Welch.
you, Stick
Raquel
Man.
Welch I'm going to have to look up Raquel Welch in the shower scene.
Christy Brinkley. I think Plug's right. Christy Brinkley. Yeah, Christy. Let's see. Stickman says, "Is it? How old are you, Stickman?" I missed that. If you said how old you were. Hi, JP.
He's
Hi, Brewer.
I think he's right up there with me, Bill. I think he said he was 58.
Ah, you're still young.
NorCal says he's 69. Grimma
Okay,
Kelly's
NorCal
58.
a few
And
years on me.
Miss Mercury said she's 65. Well, let me tell you something. She sounds like a very young 65.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing? I love the fact that I'm not the old fart in the room. Ha ha.
Grimma Kelly says, which one Raquel Welch did a lot of shower scenes?
I like her in,
I'm just trying to think of one good, long, extended sexual sex scene in a movie, and I'm just
choose that movie with Bill Cosby, Mother Jugs and Speed.
Mother Jugs and Speed. Same thing with Gods Must Be Crazy. Mother Jugs and Speed was another movie that was out of print, and you couldn't find a copy of that anywhere. And I'll tell you two other movies, Bill.
Remember when they take her out on her first run and they go to the guy's house, he's got his dick caught in a zipper and they let her take care of it? I never laughed so hard at a scene in my life.
Plugs, that's a really nice way of putting that. She had some nice motors. Yes, she did. Yeah, there you go, Marty. Raquel Welch and 100 Rifles. There you go.
Yeah.
Jim Steele, I remember a natural hot springs in Colorado, 37 naked college girls and 3 guys. Jim, that would definitely be a night to remember, buddy. That would be a night to remember. But do you remember the movie Southern Comfort, Bill?
Oh, yeah. Love that movie.
That was also out of print, and you could sell that for $50 to $100. And then the other movie that you couldn't find anywhere was Dirty Mary and Crazy Larry. That had the greatest ending to an action movie I'd ever seen.
Years ago, because I wanted it so bad, and it was a Paul Newman movie that failed miserably at the theaters, so I had to pay $100 for it to VHS. Was sometimes a great notion.
Yeah, I think I've gotten. I had requests for that at my flea market to find that.
It's about a logging family in Oregon and the stuff they went through. Great movie.
See, NorCal and Stickman said it both at the same time. 1 million BC with Raquel Welch.
Yeah.
Man, she looked good in that animal skin.
But anyways, Ron, one day this guy was going, I was having a yard sale and the guy came in the house to get some water and he saw that movie on my shelf. And he goes, I want to buy that. I said, it's not for sale. I go, I paid $100 for that. He goes, I know, I'll give you $300. But I've seen that new movie enough times.
Anything's for sale at the right price, Bill.
Exactly. And it's a good movie. But after I bought it, I thought, great movie, but it wasn't. I see why it bombed at the box office.
Now, Jeremy, I can tell you I've never seen Joe Dirt, but the scene with Brittany Daniels rides up on the horseback, I will tell you, is a YouTube clip, and it has gotten if not hundreds of thousands, over 1 million views when she rides up on that horse, because she looks smoking. Oh, I will tell you another one of my original hotties, Bill, was and everybody will remember this as soon as I say the movie. The chick that pops out of the cake on Under Siege, Erica Eleniak.
Yep.
If she doesn't have the most stunning pair of hands in that movie, I'll tell you. Oh, that's Meg Ryan faking the orgasm in the restaurant. That was Harry Met Sally. Yes, that's a good scene right there, Pastry. Man, we're covering a lot of movies tonight.
Let's see. I'm trying to remember that. Oh.
Viva Las Vegas with Anne Margaret. Yeah, Anne Margaret's got very nice hands. Tatas. Thank you, Miss Mercury. That's a good word. Tatas is a good word. Rob, you sound sexually frustrated today. Yeah, Jeff, Denise isn't home. She's actually doing an airport run, a concierge airport run. She's off picking up a client at Tampa Airport right now. Go to the Tipsy Tiger. Even the waitresses are nude. Let me tell you something. We've got a huge strip bar section here in Tampa, right down the street from Tampa Stadium on Dale Mabry. When they had the Super Bowl here a few years ago, they had to bring in dancers from other cities like Atlanta to have enough dancers to cover how many people were going to our strip clubs, because our two strip clubs, our big ones, 2001 Odyssey and I can't think of the other one, but we had two nude bars right next to each other, and we had a guy at the police department get married. Our only black male officer was getting married, and we had 25 white guys taking him out for his bachelor party, and we went to the nude bar in Tampa and had the girls put him up on the stage and lap dance for him up on the stage. When we walked in there, and even the girl taking your money in the vestibule area was completely nude except for a pair of heels, I knew we were in serious trouble that night. I don't as a hobby, I don't even know the phrase. I don't frequent nudie bars. I've never understood money to pay money to touch to see women you can't touch. I've never quite understood that. But Johnny Smallpepper, evening.
Yeah,
Motors like motorboating. Yeah, I got it, plugs. But I'd never been in an establishment like that before. It was crazy. So,
okay, you talk about scenes with a hot girl in it. What about Vanishing Point?
Vanishing Point was another movie, Bill, that was discontinued and you couldn't buy. And I would have somebody come into my video store almost every weekend asking if I had a copy of Vanishing Point. And I said, no, that movie sells for over $100. And somebody said, if you ever get one in, I will pay $100 for that.
Yeah. But have you ever seen the movie, Rob?
It's been a long time, Bill.
You remember the blonde girl on the Honda?
See, I can't say that I do, Bill. It's probably been 30 years
She
since
was
I saw that
naked,
movie.
and she comes riding up, and the guy's with the Challenger looks over, and she just...
At Play in the Fields of the Lords. Another movie that's out of print.
Yeah, there's a lot of good movies out of print. It really sucks.
Oh, and I'll tell you another one who I had the hots for was on West Wing, the little blonde that played Leo's chief of staff when him and oh man, the big tall Spanish guy, Latino guy. Oh God, he's the big guy on Star Wars. She played his chief of staff. She's Kristen Chenoweth. She's the opera singer.
Yeah.
She is just an absolute cutie. Faces of Death. The Pastry, those were another movies that if eBay caught that on eBay, you could do like a 3-day sale and you might be able to sell it on eBay before they caught it. But if you put it on for like 7 days and somebody didn't buy Faces of Death right away, eBay yanked that right off there. I actually found one Faces of Death. I can't even remember which one it was. There was 5 or 6 of them. And I found one in a secondhand movie store once, and I grabbed that off the shelf for like $2. And I can't remember how much money I sold that for, but it sold right away. Those movies were almost impossible to find.
You see the new selling policy on eBay, Rob?
The new what policy, Bill?
New policy for selling. I hadn't sold anything in a while on eBay, right?
Uh-huh.
So I lost my selling rights. So when I went back to try to do it, they go, well, for this first month, you can only sell $10 worth of stuff.
What the hell's that about?
I don't know. I went, what? And I tried it again. And I go, yeah, if you don't sell all the time on eBay, if you have a lapse, you go back to the beginning. And now it's like, well, you could do $10 this month, or you could pay to do this and work your way up. But you can only do.
Well, yeah. See, I pay $59 every month to have my store on eBay.
Yeah.
So
this was not a store; just to sell as a person.
See, that's BS. How are they going to have people build up their business?
Yeah. Well, it's like my roommate was telling me earlier. Disney has raised all their prices for crowd control.
Because Bill, no matter what the price is, they still sell out every single day.
Yeah. So what they're going to do? They've raised everything through the roof again to try to cut down on the amount of people coming.
Yeah, Marty, I know she was short, but she's just like you say. She's got a beautiful voice. I don't have my phone here. Wow, I didn't realize it almost impossible to begin selling on the platform. I'll tell you another thing. I thought eBay made a mistake when they sold PayPal to become an independent company. And now you used to have to use PayPal to collect money through eBay. And then eBay and PayPal split, and PayPal now wants to become like an American Express type company.
Yeah.
And they're getting away from their fundamentals. And I think that was huge because they made millions and millions of dollars of commissions off eBay. Because if I sold a $5 movie on eBay, I had to pay eBay 9% commission, and then I had to pay PayPal an 8 or 9% commission. So right off the bat, before I made anything, 18% was out of my pocket. Why would PayPal want to lose that money?
It's hard to say, Rob. Mark Miller, how you doing?
Stickman, absolutely. If you want to keep your Yellow Star as a power seller, you had to change your 30-day guarantee to 60-day guarantee, and trust me, at day 59, when you've already spent that money, and somebody wants a refund, and they're just messing with you, and then eBay takes the other person's side on day 59. Yeah, it's Stickman. I agree.
Yeah. Anyways, it's getting late, people.
Yeah, Mark Miller just come in and we're saying goodbye. We're saying wrap it up, Mark Miller. But hey, good evening, Mark Miller.
Sorry about that, Mark. Yeah, but we've been on here for 3 hours, and it's
Bill, I'm gonna have one more cup of coffee, and I'm gonna fall asleep watching some YouTube videos.
I got to crash. So, Stickman, Mark Miller, Paystreak, thank you for being here. Jim Steele, plugs, Marty,
Miss Mercury, Marty V, everybody,
Stickman, Johnny,
Paystreak. Really enjoyed your comment choices and your movie choices tonight.
Yes, really did. And thank you, Rob, as always.
Same with NorCal. NorCal had some great input tonight too. Everybody did.
Jeff,
it was a fun night, guys.
It was.
And don't forget, Shane is not going to be on with Thirsty Thursdays because he's on the road. And Gene from We Dig It will be taking his place. So go over to We Dig It's channel Thursday at 9 p.m. Gene needs a few more hours to get monetized. So let's go over and support Gene, guys, the same way we would support Shane on Thursday nights. All right.
And an hour before that, Mark the Berg Hunter's doing a live stream. He'll be interviewing me. So if you want to watch that, hit that first and hit up Gene afterwards.
There you go, guys.
There you go.
All right, Bill. Really enjoyed it tonight.
Good night, Rob. Thank you.
All right. Take care.